Welcome to the SignWriting Symposium 2015. Today is number 2, day 2, July 22nd, 2015. And today we are welcoming Stefan Voerman. Stefan has developed a wonderful way to write mouth movements with sign writing, which he calls Mundbildschrift, which he will also, of course, tell you about. But actually, this presentation is about something else, because Stefan has a team of fabulous software developers in Hamburg, Germany, and in Osnabrück, Germany, where Stefan teaches at the Osnabrück School for the Deaf. And Stefan has taught deaf children for decades, actually, and has used sign writing, Gebärdenschrift, as they call it in German, in his classroom for years as well. So welcome, Stefan. It's exciting to see you, and I can see you have a T-shirt on.
Yes.
Yeah, and what does the T-shirt say, Stefan?
Okay, first of all, hello to the audience, and I'm happy to be able to present our wonderful Delex software program. As Valerie said, my name is Stefan Voerman, and I'm a teacher for deaf students here in Osnabrück, and I'm enthusiastic about sign writing for almost 14 years, so I know what I'm talking about. I would like to start with, of course, first my name sign. This is a wonderful gift from the Hamburger Delex team, and I am really very, very grateful that Professor Grisham and his team supports the idea of spreading the word for Gebärdenschrift, do so a fantastic job. You know, I don't know anything about programming, and if Steve, if you report about what you are doing, and I can't follow at all, so I have no idea, but I am really so grateful that we can use your wonderful sign paddle dictionary, and hopefully in the future the sign mail again and other things you develop. So the Hamburger software team is an excellent group. They come to the teaching group, it's me and other people in Hamburg, and they ask us, hello teachers, what do you want? What kind of program and what kind of progress in the program do you want to achieve that we should try to get done with our programming? And it's a new idea to me that I can just say, oh, well, I would like to hide this line, or I would add this kind of letters, or I would like to have Mundbildschrift as well in the line beneath, or I do need a different way of printing out and all this kind of stuff. So practical work in the classroom is the guideline for them to develop the next step for the program. And we are now pretty much ahead of what I ever had expected. So I would like to introduce where we came from, and now from where we are going to. And the team in Hamburg is just doing such a great job to develop step by step by step more of this what a teacher really needs. And well, here is the point. I do not know, Valerie, I do not know at all. Why not every teacher for deaf students, every sign language instructor, every parent of a deaf child, every sign language whatever researcher doesn't ask for a tool that allows him to create documents of this quality, in this speed, with this easiness, and maybe our presentation today will open the one or the other door,
Yes.
one or other door, that people get to you or to us and ask, well, this is my question, how do we get there, and how would you get there, and this is. So what we have to understand is there is a wonderful, wonderful program to write down what you invented, the notation for sign language, and to contrast it or to compare it with spoken language. And this is exactly what we as teachers need to improve literacy in deaf children. And well, I teach, as you said, I teach deaf children for years and years now, and I really have lots of experience to see how motivated and joyful and really effectful they work with these materials, and sign writing is kind of highway to the brain to develop spoken language feeling for deaf students. Okay, I would love to introduce my class, my group, for a short time that you get a feeling how it looks like if you would visit my classroom, okay? Therefore, I would like to do now this square, what is it?
We call it share screen. Share screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works. Just a second. I have to say here. Now I say desktop. Okay. Yeah. I say give it to him. So, do you see my screen now?
Yes. I see me because you're seeing me.
Okay. Yes. So now you see a group of mine. It's not the whole class, it's just a group of them. The other one is behind the camera. And I just tried to talk to it a little bit. In the middle is Lumturi. She's just 2 years in our class. She's from Albania. And Valerie, she is so proud to be the editor of the Albanian Sand Puddle. This is Lumturi. Okay, she asked Safa, what is your name? Safa says, my name is Safa, and he spells it. And she says, your sign name, what is that? Okay, Safa, okay, I see. So, and now she asks Christian, can you swim well? Yes, I can, no problem. Okay, hello. Now I'm joining the group.
Good morning.
I say, good morning. I say, oh, hello. Hello, you're good? Hello. This is my class. There are together 6 students. Oh, no. There are 7. I'm sorry. We are smart. The reason is that we really develop well sign language competence, and we are able to translate from German to sign language back and forth. Okay. And this is Lumtul. I'm sorry, my name is Mr. Werman. W-H-O-R-M-A-N. Hello, who are you? What is your sign name? I'm Mr. Werman. Hello. Nah, come on. No, you're not. Okay. My name is Tristan. You have to spell your name. Okay. Christian. So, I just stop it for a second. Can you imagine? Christian is for 1 year within our class. For 1 year. He's coming from Romania. And thanks to sign writing, he developed such a high level of German spoken language that from next year on, he will participate in all subjects, in all lessons within the class. Isn't it great?
Yes.
Yes, I love it. So, now it's Safa. Safa says, my name is Safa. Hello. He says, my name is Tarek from Syria. He is Delia. Okay, my name is Delia. And I would like to sign American way. Okay. Name is Lumturi. Okay, my sign name is Lumturi. I said, well, she's a little bit, she wants to have contact all over the world, and she feels like being, well, okay, it's fine, it's okay. So, okay. Let's go on with your discussion. And now she's signing kind of mixture of DGS and German. Are you here born in Germany? No, he said, I'm born in Romania. I said, Romania? Here Romania? No, there Romania. So, okay. And she asked me, do you have a hobby? What kind of hobby do you have? And I say, oh, I love to learn Albanian language. I don't know, no, I'm kidding. No, I love photography, of course, yes. Okay, so she says, are you able to play football well? Yes, I do. You can sign very much? Yes, no problem signing. Oh yes, you're a good signer. Wait a minute, stop. I have a question for all of you. Here in Germany, the spoken language, it's difficult or easy? Oh, it's not easy. What's the reason? Why is spoken language so difficult? Dilly says, and Lumtu says, oh, don't know. It's one after each other, okay? You start and afterwards you. Okay. He says, just imagine there's a man and he's speaking. I have no idea what he's talking about because it's so difficult to lip read. Okay, I'm at home, my mother, my brother standing together talking to each other. I've got no idea what they're talking about. No? That's not nice. No? I would love to be with people who almost try to gesture and to find with pantomime that I get my way. Okay, now the problem is learn German is difficult, but now we can translate it. Oh yes, he said, we can translate it with SignWriting. We can add a translation line to the SignWriting. What does Delex editor mean? Okay, for example, I need a term for apple. Apple, okay, apple. What does apple mean? Ah, der Apfel in German. Okay, so now I can add many vocabularies and have the sign and the word added to that. So I learned the terms in German range. So, and is it difficult to read sign language? No, it is so easy. No problem whatsoever. I can read it quickly. No problem. Okay, over there, Valerie Sutton in America, you know, she has got the idea to write down sign language, and I developed the Mundbilder for reading, lip reading. Okay, is it difficult to lip read? I say wo, yes, wo ist deine Tasche? Where's your bag? Wonderfully. Okay, what about you? But I shouldn't sign when I try to exercise lip reading. Okay, can you swim? Very good. And now, wrong. He said, where is your bus? Aha, you said, well, bus. Ah, okay, I got it. Okay, so fine. So far, we should stop here. That is fine. Thank you. And now, I would love to show just in this area a second thing. It is the guy you already know about. Okay, now 1 year later, he is working with the Delex editor, what we are talking about now. And this is a typical, absolutely typical situation in classroom. All of the students are sitting at their computer, or we are together in the computer room. And now I teach Safa for the first time how to use the editor in the SignWriting Delex software program. So his hometown is called Stemshorn. Stemshorn. And he has to write the Mundbilder for Stemshorn into the Delex editor. So as you see, it doesn't work, and he has to find his way, but it works. And it is so nice, you can see that, Valerie, that we can simply type on a keyboard and get the Mundbilder on a nice line added to the document, you see?
Wow.
Now I say save it for this document, and voila, now we are gone, you got it. Fine. And now you see, Safa is editing sign by sign, every sign. He looks at it very quickly, so he really grabs what is the difference of a symbol we really do not want to have like this, and he's editing the whole document. And for students of this age, the documents contain about 15 to 20 pages sometimes, you know. And in the end, they are able to translate all these exact signed German sentences without any mistake. Can you imagine? No mistake whatsoever. And their spelling is, compared to hearing students, so much better. It is amazing what they are doing. And they love it. They love it to do the work on their own and to work on their own speed and to have feedback from the program whenever they want to. But I will talk about this later. So let me jump in the video a little bit forward. Just a second. Okay. Now. Okay. I told him he should write, what is the name of your German teacher? And now you see, he's trying to write the sentence in German, but he doesn't know the term. He does not know what is Deutschlehrer, how to write it. And I spell it, I say slow down, just letter by letter. German teacher, Deutschlehrer. And you see, while he is typing in the search word field, the sign shows up. I say, oh, this took a long time. Just repeat it. And without nothing, he would do it again and again and again. And in the end, he's so proud. He's so proud that he got it. And, you know, a moment ago, he didn't know. And now he knows. And tomorrow he will know. And then we will do all the names of the teachers and all the subjects. And step by step, it's not a matter of good that we talked about, but now I know what I'm supposed to write. It is a competence that really got developed with means of this Delex program. Okay. So, others coming. Thanks for listening. Okay. Fine. This is the first part I want to say. The second part is I just keep this sharing with my screen where I am. The second part is I would like to show you one thing of the beginning. Years and years ago, I started with my little son, Gordian. Do you see the screen? Valerie? Valerie?
I'm sorry. Yes, yes. I do see the screen. Yes.
So you see here a 2.5-year boy reading these symbols, okay? He says mama and dear mama and lion and sleep and so on and so forth. And he's so enthusiastic about being able to read that he was waiting for me to come home for school to start again reading meow, as he called it, you know, because we had this little cat on the card and so on. So what people need to know in the world is sign writing is open from baby's age till adult people, and even adult people, deaf people with a mental disability. I got experience that I took so much advantage out of reading sign writing flashcards or little phrases. So it is amazing what kind of resource is embedded in this thing. Okay. Then let me show you my classroom. That has been at that time, you know. And you remember these guys, Valerie?
Of course I do. They're the beautiful kids. Yeah.
Yeah. And they are grown up now, and they did very nicely. So I'm really happy. And now I said, just a second, I have to move my thing a little bit to the right. So how do I get there? Yeah, like this. Okay, what is sign writing about? And here we are. I would like to show this. Just a second. Yeah, no, all these symbols that get weird, people that make people.
I'm sorry.
So, no, fine. So now, okay, Gebärdenschrift lesen soll ich sagen. So. Do you remember these videos? And I looked it up in the YouTube thing, and they are now saved there, so everybody can look at it. And we will come back to this document later. Well, let us start with the Delex thing. The best way. I'm sorry. Let's just have.
Your animations are so darling. You are truly an artist. Really.
This is a typical thing that. And he says now, I would like to write everything in sign writing. This is what he's signing there. Okay.
It's wonderful. It's sign writing movie.
Okay. So now, how do we get here? This is the Delex editor. How do we get there? Okay. If people would like to start, they really should use the Google thing and write sign bank. No, I'm sorry. First, they can go to the Delex page. Also, Delex.de. So this way they come directly to our German, homepage, website, okay? And you see everything what is done right now, and you see they announced our symposium today, and greetings to all the members of the Delex team who watch right now. I really appreciate your support. And this is our deaf teacher for creating materials for deaf students. We are doing German courses all over Germany, and here you find several other things. You may browse through the things. Here is where you can read the whole thing in English, you know, and here you see different flags. And the idea is, if you go from the very beginning, I'm sorry, I have to go back, right? Yeah, if you go to the Delex editor here, you would be on the German side, you see? Here is everything written in German. But people would love to be on a different side, on the side of their choice, and therefore you simply write signbank.org. And Valerie, your system
it's coming up, huh?
Is really wonderful, you know?
Wow.
So, and now you see the flags. And the DLX team would love to try to do this same kind of thing, that people find a quick orientation to find their interface, okay? In this case, let us start with America, but later we will go on with German. So you just click on the US flag if you are interested to write ASL documents and to have the interface in English. Now you see I'm already registered, but I will log out so that you see the same as if you would be the first time there. How to get started? Now you are a not registered, non-registered user, and that is fine. No problem with that so far. So you say, I would like to do a new document. You see where I click very right to the house?
You clicked on new, yes, yes.
Yes, new. And this window opens and we get this new document. And if you already know the title, what kind of document you are writing, and in order to find it later, you should know about a good title, you know, a meaningful title. Then you can type it here. Otherwise, you get time afterwards. No problem. So here is a thing that already some SignPaddle dictionaries in the background are embedded. So in this case, we vote for the American Sign Language Dictionary, and all the entries that are in the American dictionary will show up here. Isn't it great? Yes. Okay, so we say new, and we can start immediately. Well, in order to make people more, more familiar with what's going on, I will switch to the SignPaddle of America. And here you find this search word line, and you can, for example, say, show me every entry that is in this American SignPaddle. And then all the entries show up. But the same as in SignPaddle, if you go to the translation option, your terms would not show up if there is a gap in your entries. Okay, so make sure that your entries are one unity, just one unity. Just add these little strokes or lines between the words, and then you would find 116. This way, you will not find 116. You know?
I see. I think, yeah, I was just going to say, I think Stefan is talking about a little dash between words, like thank and you.
Yeah.
You would have a dash between them, so there's no space. And then you're able to find the sign, is what you're trying to say. Yes.
Otherwise, it will not show up. Okay?
Okay.
So in this case, I'm sorry?
You can use an underscore instead of a space. You should be able to.
Right. Right. And I did that in the German SignPaddle all the time, but different other SignPaddles, and people do need to know that, okay?
You can search with it without actually putting the underscore in the entry itself.
Oh, let's try. So if I go here to translate, and I say, what was it? 100?
Put an underscore rather than a dash.
Yeah. 116 was it?
I don't know.
It doesn't matter. So let's see.
I remember right.
So it doesn't show up.
All right.
Okay. All right. That's because we didn't enter it that way, right? It depends on how we entered it.
Exactly. So just keep in mind that we want to have this kind of thing. The other thing is the following. Just look at this. We say, for example, let me say house. Okay, house, and ask for translation. And you see,
well,
no, not a good one. Not a good example. Say something else. Hello. Hello is nice. So, hello. Okay. And you see there are these variations as entries in the American SignPaddle. Okay. The same will show up in the DLX SignPaddle. You know, but in this case, you can see nicely all the variations one to each other, and we visually can say, I would like to have this hello because Valerie loves that the most. Okay.
Okay.
We will come to that later. So now I'm in the ASL SignPaddle, and just let me tell you why teachers should ask for the DLX program. Just in case American little boy wants to learn the symbols for the signs for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would simply write the signs and well done. And you say, hey, wait a minute, that's not the way we sign it. Huh? So, what needs to be really understood is the program itself doesn't do the translation. No, it is you as a scribe who has responsibility to check every spelling, to check every sign, and to make the whole thing senseful, okay? In this case, we say 1 is okay, and 2, we would like to have the palm facing the face, right, Valerie?
Yes, facing the body, yes.
So now I say switch to the other variation, and next to the sign you see these little rectangles, and there are 2 numbers. You see, 2 and 2. And this says in the American sign puddle there are 2 variations, 1 and 2. And in this case, this is variation 2. Okay? So now I'm done, and I have written the symbols 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they are nice and great.
Except that 5 has to also have the palm facing the body. Can you take that?
Take that, yeah. So
you did it. Right. Very good.
I love to see that you follow with so much attention, Valerie. Thank you.
Yes, I'm following, believe me.
Okay. And now we have written the signs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And every American child should be able to match the numbers written in the second line with the signs written in the first line. We call this line sign writing line, as you can see here, okay? We call this line search word line because here we type the terms of the spoken language in order to get the terms that are stored in the dictionary. And here we can write whatever we want. Hopefully the correct translation. In this case it would be easy because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is no problem at all. But what is the problem? The problem is that a young American deaf child should learn to know the spelling of the words for the numbers. You agree?
Yes, of course.
So let's go forward and say this is 1, and this is 2, and this is 3, and this is 4, and this is 5, and this is 6. Now we have to edit again, and I would like to show a second method, okay? Here we clicked on the little arrows next to the signs. In this case, and I prefer that very much, you can place your cursor into the search field, okay? And then place the left index on the Alt and the other on the key arrow, and you can browse wonderfully and quickly through all the variations that are stored, okay?
Right, so Stefan is doing a keystroke. He taught me that the other day. Yeah. So you can change things 2 ways. One is with a mouse, you know, and the other way is to use the keystroke, Alt plus the arrows, right? Yeah.
Thank you for adding that, yeah. So I hope this has been slow enough to explain to people that if there is a sign that is not what we want to, we can search for the other variations by either mouse click or by keystroke.
Very good.
Clear enough. So now I want the child to learn the numbers is easy, but to learn the spelling. How do I do that? It is wonderful. Here are the options to hide a line. You see, if I hide the search word line, there is nothing to see anymore. Now the child can place his cursor here, or the teacher can do, and the child has to spell or to speak or whatever, and he can say, well, here was the number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? And now, just keep spacebar, we type the words 1, 2, and now, my God, I've forgotten how to write 3. So what's to be done? I can look for search for help and open the search word line again. And I can look at it as long as I want to, and then I hide it again, and I keep going. Okay, 3. Oh, I forgot 4. So let's look again. 4. Okay, so. And the students, you can't imagine, they are so motivated to get along without clicking for help all the time, but to memorize the words and then do it, you know? And this is...
May I just say one thing? I'm going to say very quickly. I don't know whether everybody saw, but how did Stefan change back and forth between those, or toggle? His mouse went up high to the bar way up there. And see where it says search word? That's for the search word line. And you can click on that to take it off or on.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes people can't catch it that fast, Stefan, because we're just human. And we're looking at what you're doing, and we forgot to notice that your mouse went up to the top. Right. And he's got search word line.
Right.
And then you can click on that again, and it comes back again. You keep clicking.
Right.
I really love that feature. It's a terrific feature.
Well, and it is so wonderful because is this plus? Do you say plus like this?
Yes, plus, yes.
Okay, fine. So we say 3. It's just an experiment. I did it for the first time. 3 plus 5.
Adam, is that good ASL? I don't know ASL well enough, Adam. Is that okay?
Well, Adam should know.
Yeah, 3 plus 5, not 5.
But what do I type here, Adam?
Equal?
So just like this? No.
No, spell it out. EQUAL.
Like this?
Yeah, top.
Fine. So now, oh, that's excellent. Listen, look at this. So now we are already learning, and I love it. I love it so much. So you see, what you see is you see nothing more, just the signing, okay? And the little deaf child and the student or the learner has to know to sign 3 plus 5 equals 8. Right. Now you can tease your students and say, wait a minute, I just make a mistake. I say 6, okay? And I hide it again. So, I'm sorry. So now nobody would know that there's a mistake unless you are able to read sign writing and you are able to calculate, right?
Okay.
Yes. Very fine. So now it is a child's task to do exactly what I'm doing now, to write the correct spelling, the words in these lines. You see? He has the same 3 plus, well, and you know. And now I can find out, and the child can find out himself. Do I know all what I'm supposed to know, or is there any question left? And if there is an insecurity or so, he can look for help and can say, I know. Well, the wonderful thing is, in the end, after all teaching, after years, what do I want? I want them to understand spoken language from the beginning. So I hide the sign writing line. And I only show written German or written English. And they have to sign, you know? And they show me whether they understand the idea and whether they understand the words. And if they don't know, they look for help and find the help with clicking on sign writing or not. You see?
Yeah, so it's up on the bar there. See up at the top, sign writing line. They
right.
Click on that to get back the sign writing line, or click it off or on, right?
Okay. Yeah. So to get forward, and we do not have too much time left, I would like to introduce now how do we save and how do we print. Okay. For teachers, I would like to inform them, children in my classroom always get a document that looks like this. So sign writing plus the solution, the correct translation. Okay. Maybe in signed language, the solution is equals the search word line, no problem. But if not, I add this free text line and write the correct translation there. Look at this. CMD, and now I go here, CMD-V, and you see it is just what is Control C, Control, what is it? Paste.
That would be copy and paste. Yes, right. You copied it and then you pasted it. Yes.
Yeah, isn't it nice? It is beautiful.
Beautiful.
Quickly done, no problem whatsoever. So the student gets this kind of document where he sees the sign writing and the correct translation, you see?
Mm-hmm.
And he got a document that is without the free text line, okay? It is hidden. It is only sign writing. And it is his job or her job just to write with pencil and pen, if it is a printed document, the correct translation in this space here. And for homework, they have to be able to have a look at the worksheet where the solution is printed out, okay? The wonderful thing, and I'm really grateful to the Hamburger crew, is everybody in the world, from Honolulu to Brazil, no matter what, is able to use this program, this moment, for free and train his students and do homework or whatsoever. So you are able to get home and know Mr. Werman wants me to translate page 1 to 15 of this document, and I have to save it in my own folder, and Mr. Werman will look at it at home at night and look where I did mistakes or whether I did a good job. And every single student has his own account, and the teacher has got the possibility to accompany him on his way to better literacy in spoken language. I really enjoy that. It is wonderful. So just in case you are in places where there's no online possibility, you have to save your document on your private computer. And you do this, that you have to do a PDF first. So just say we want to do with the solution, we say create PDF, but first we have to do a title. Okay, not new document. We have to do a meaningful title. So we say save as. Am I too quick?
No, it's fine.
Fine, okay.
It's fine.
So now you see the problem I mentioned in the beginning. All the doors are open just to the public, but not to your private account. So whenever you go to public now, I do that. It is fine. You can do that. No problem whatsoever. And you will find there your document. That's fine too. And you say here, numbers.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
1 to 6. And words. I say, I don't know what you would say, but it doesn't matter, okay? And I would say save. And he said, oh, enter a valid name. What is this? Maybe I made the mistake and there's one space bar somewhere. Yeah. So you see, you are not allowed to have a space bar. One more than one. Just one space bar between the words, okay? Now you say save. And you see your document name shows up in the bottom line. And how many pages is your document? 1, and you are on page 1 from 1 of 1. And here is that you made this with a beautiful Delex editor program from the Hamburg crew. So you know everything is taken care of, that after you did many, and believe me, I did thousands of pages, thousands, can you imagine? You find your way to find your document. And they did a great job to find your document, really, because now I will show you. We want to go forward and reopen it again. As an unknown user, you see here, I'm only able to enter the public area. There's no folder for me. So now you see there are lots and lots of people in a minute who already entered documents, you see, but they are in danger that somebody else will take their document and will do something they do not want to, you know? And you see, it is difficult to find your own document. But, and I love that, and I do it every day, here you find this criteria, creation date. And clicking 2 times, you find, here is our document we created a minute ago. You see? Yes. Here, 2015, and so forth. So get on it and reopen it. And now we are better off to really register. So for purpose of this symposium, I got the name Hugo and enter my password. Hopefully I know it, so you will see. Yes. And now it says, hello, Hugo Schlüssel, you see?
See, it's over to the right next to that little person. See, it says,
Right.
hello, Hugo.
And now I see my document is still name, numbers, but no personal account, but I want to. So I say save as. And now it opens the public and, I'm sorry, home. It opens the public and my private. You see that?
Yes. So you have a private file now called
Right,
Hugo.
right.
Right,
And if
okay.
I save it here under Hugo, you see,
Mm-hmm.
you will see, I did for training, for practice, I did already several times, but
So you have many documents under Hugo.
yeah. I will show you later. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of documents. So, fine. Let's imagine we start again, and now you will really wonder. Here is my document folder, and here you find a nice video.
Oh my goodness. You're not serious, are you? Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
Isn't it beautiful?
That's,
Yes.
oh my goodness, Stefan, that goes way back in time. We're not even writing that way.
Yeah, and I love it.
Okay.
So now,
All right.
we say, do you remember what you said? You say, now, I should put it here.
Okay.
Now, I will teach you how to read hello.
The sign hello. Yes, that was the line from this old video that went back to,
Yes.
wow, the 80s,
Well,
I think.
Valerie,
Yes.
for this demonstration, it is wonderful. Okay.
Okay.
Why? Let me tell you why. People who start to want to work with the Delex editor have to be good, experienced reader and good scribes. Otherwise, it is just like Google translation that comes out here and there in gibberish and you don't know what is on. So in this case, you see now is pretty much written as you signed it. That is fine. But you didn't sign I. Let us look whether there are this I. No, you didn't use this, you didn't use this, you didn't use this, you didn't use this, you didn't use this. So, we are lost. So what's to be done? And now, watch out, everybody. It is a miracle. We go into this field. You see my cursor?
Yes.
And we do a double click. And voila. Now, we are in the area where we can construct our own signs, like in SignPuddle, the sign maker. It's the same. So now we can really say, oh, I did not want to have this kind of symbol. I really want to do it in a different way, like this. So now, here is not the time, Valerie, to play around long enough that everybody understands all these edit symbols. But let me just start, and we will cut off, and people may ask questions or practice on their own, okay? What is important is, here you see the things you want to work on. In this case, I would like to add a head. So you go here and say, please add this head, in this case like this, and the head circle is positioned all the time in this area, automatically. Okay. So now I would like to add to the head some eyes. And he says, one eye, two eyes, or both eyes.
Okay.
I would say, let me take these eyebrows, okay?
All right.
And now, it is a smile that you say, me. Smile is mouth. So I would say, this is nice. Isn't it great?
Oh, it's a beautiful editor. That's a beautiful system.
So now, this is still not correct. And you see here the movement possibilities, you know? So now we go here this way, or this way, or this way.
Stefan is clicking on the right side of his screen where it says edit symbol, and he's choosing to rotate over there with the buttons that you see.
Going to rotate. Yeah, I want to show, you know, that everybody understands.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Well, this is nice, you see. Now, you see, this is the me or I that you used in your performance.
I
Do you remember?
I don't remember. It was back in 1985.
No.
Let's just think about how many years it is.
Yeah.
It's
That was the
2015. Pardon me?
You remember that I started with my, oh, I'm sorry, I got lost.
That's all right. Go right back to where you were.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I'm
And
sorry.
we can just go right ahead and teach and not worry about my old video.
No. It is the center of the symposium presentation, Valerie. It's very good.
All
So
right. Okay.
you see now, this is the correct transcription of your signing here.
Okay. All right. It doesn't mean yes. All right. Just so you all know out there, it's not real ASL, and I just didn't know any better, I guess. Okay. So we won't worry about it. Most people in American Sign Language don't do I. They don't even do that.
You are kidding. You are signing so beautifully.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well,
and
thank you.
fluently. But nevertheless, what I'm talking about is, at that time, we worked with the SignWriter DOS, as you can see in the pixels, you know? And now you can look at this I and will and teach, and we go back to our deluxing here.
All right.
Where are we going? Here. And now I finished this sign as I want to. And now I say, I want to save this newly. So I did this extra entry to my document and say, save it newly. And he asked me, what is the search word? And I say, I. And I say, save it. And now, voila, it shows up in my document immediately.
Uh-huh.
So weeks ago, we had to wait for one night that the upload happened. No? And now everything can done immediately. Right? So you say, well, like this. No, maybe like this.
Okay. So may I ask a question? I know that it's not what you expect, but may I ask, how would you delete the entire sign for I? Let's say we wanted to delete it. I'm just curious because I don't know how to delete something. Let's say they're in the grammar of a language. Things are changing.
Yeah. I will show you later. So if you don't want to, you say just like this and it is gone.
Oh, okay. I see. Good. Could you put it back? Or is it gone completely?
No problem. So I just type I and look for the last very...
I see. Okay. I'm sorry to have...
No, fine. This is a time. So yes, you see, it is a good point. We want to make sure that not everybody is able to mess the dictionary up, you know? So there's the option that you, as a scribe of this document, take responsibility, but only for this document. This new entry is not part of the dictionary, but only part of your document in your in your account. Yeah? In
your account,
if somebody else opened. Yeah? And that is fine, because now nobody has to be afraid of doing wrong or something. No, contrary. Now we can exchange our version with other scribes, and all over the world we can discuss our spelling, our grammar, how would you express, I would like to know different spelling. It is so wonderful that it is such an easy way to get in contact with other signers in the world and to exchange meaning or dictionary or whatsoever. You know, Ingvild Roald, I hope she's watching now, she did at that time this physics dictionary for Norwegian students, you know, and I would love to copy lots of time if they fit to the German way we sign physics names, but we need to have a new software, and the Dilex, the software in SignWriting DOS is still available, and I have it on my computer run, so it's no problem that I can copy from here to there, write newly, okay? But wonderful. So Roald, you did a great job. In case you didn't.
Yes, Roald did a great job for sure.
I prepared this, of course, so I will show you a different thing. I just log out. I log in as Stefan, so that makes things faster now. We have to speed up.
Well, I'd like to see some of your documents in German Sign Language or in German Signs. That would be great. Yeah.
Thank you. Discard. I say just discard. I say go. Here you see my entries, you know, and well, I'm editor of many teaching rooms and learning groups and so on and so forth. So it is, you see, it is quite quite a number of documents.
You have a lot of documents. People should know just thousands, I would assume. Yeah.
Yeah. Really.
Fabulous
work. And therefore, it is so hope. So we have done this here, and now you see, isn't it beautiful? It is perfectly written in this line.
Yes.
Now I teach you how, and look at this. Here you say teach with the left hand still.
Yeah, I guess that's the way I signed it.
Yeah.
You must forgive me. I feel
writing,
insecure because I'm a hearing person. We've always wanted to get deaf people to be writing and signing, and not me. I'm just struggling to learn ASL myself. But you wrote it really. You wrote it really well. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, and it is important to our audience that all of us who are hearing get the feeling, oh my God, hopefully I sign it the way the deaf would accept it. And it is natural. So this SignWriter Delex editor is a perfect tool to show it to deaf people and to say, please do me the favor, have a look at it. You know, the same as I show to you my abstract and say, can you please polish it up and make it look like without that many mistakes or so. Same here. Now we get to deaf signing competent people and ask them for support or for to offer their suggestion, and it is a wonderful platform to exchange, you know.
Well, may I just say one thing? The top line is perfect. I want to compliment you, Stefan, in writing it so beautifully. People should know that Stefan looked at that video, and that is exactly the way I signed it. When I look at what you wrote there, the top line, the fact that you're able to take a video and write it exactly as you saw it is a remarkable technique. Yeah. Thank you very much.
well, Valerie, and the good thing is now that you say, this is bullshit here. This line you do not like. So
yes.
I tried to I'm sorry, SignWriting line. I tried to hide it.
You're doing great. This is very exciting.
So
oh wow.
What can you do? You say this is correct signing, and underneath this is the correct translation. You see?
Okay.
And now you can go back and forth as we did before. You ask a hearing person, can you please sign what you see? Okay, and he should hide the sign. So, and it is his job to sign. Now I will teach you how to read the sign hello. And if he doesn't know, he looks for help and opens the SignWriting line again. Okay, and this line can be deleted. We don't need that. It is just for demonstration that the program itself is not the translator, but you as a competent sign language knower and spoken language knower, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
We learned so far that you can go to the editor. I would just repeat it one time, just double click. And one thing you have to learn is, I'm sorry here. Yeah.
There we go.
I go to the Delex editor in the German, and now look at this. I'm sitting in front of my students and I say, for example, wo. And now you see it is lip reading. Wo. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. V-O. Wo. No? For example, now I say ist. So it says ist. Okay? And then I say mein. Mein. And now I say, for example, Bus. So we start with this program online, this lip reading training, and they really have so much fun to understand that once they know what the hands are doing, lip reading is so much easier, you know. And that is a good thing about this. It is important to know that. You want to see some documents? Just I would like to show you.
I want to compliment you all on this beautiful editor. This is an addition to Delex that has just happened, I believe, in the past year. Is that right, Stefan?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite
impressive.
Yes, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, to explain, I'm trying to tell people that when you open up Delex and you're writing a sign, or you see a sign there, you can double-click on that sign and it opens up the editor. That's how that works. And that editor program is really gorgeous. Really, really well done. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, it is fantastic. And
it is fantastic.
In the long run, it should be a standalone thing. So we we are not depend on Sign Paddle in that time, because everything can be done with a Sign Delex editor, you know. We have not find a way how to. We don't want to write all the 24,000 signs again.
No, that's right, we don't. So it's working back and forth with SignPuddle Online. And technically, yeah, there's SignPuddle Online. There we go. And that's developed by Steve Slavinsky,
Yeah,
who is right here. Yes, that's right. And there's your German dictionary. Look how many entries.
Okay.
23,719. Wow, Stefan, that's a big dictionary.
So we are really fortunate, and this makes, we come to an end, I guess. This makes it understand what is so important to me. The most important factor influencing learning is what the learner already knows. Assert this and teach him accordingly. Okay, so make sure that your child is able to sign, to understand communication in sign language. Once he knows that, he wants to understand that the matching between a sign, an idea expressed in sign language, and the same idea expressed in spoken language. So now it is possible with the Delex editor to really match these two things on a one word level, or on a sentence level, on a question-answer level, or a whole text level. And I would like to show in the end some documents that really show what's going on. Okay? Yes. I typed this, I typed that. So now, I tried the following experiment. I wrote these sentences: Wo ist meine Brille? Ich suche meine Brille. Wo ist mein Bus? Kannst du mir helfen? Und so weiter. This is German. I went to the Google Translator service and asked for translations in English and Polish and whatsoever, you know. And now you can imagine what I'm doing. I just go to copy. I'm sorry. Steuerung C. I go to my Delex thing. Where is it gone? Do you know? Here. Here we are. Gebärdenschrift. No. Delex. Okay. No. New document. Okay. Here we are. I have to position it on my screen.
There we go.
So
there we
now
go.
I say just paste. I just say paste, and voila! All the sentences are translated within a second. Do you see that?
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. So you had all those signs already written in your dictionary.
Right.
And then you just put the words in and poing, here it comes. Woo.
And this is what teachers for deaf have to understand. We need lots and lots and lots of sentences to make the students able to follow this kind of pattern, you know. Wo ist denn now mein Bleistift, meine Hose, mein Auto? So in German, grammar is so complicated that they really have to be able to write these sentences. And in case I do it again, Steuerung V, I'm sorry, I have the same line, but now I ask the student, what do you want to add as a different thing that you are looking for? Okay? So where is my handy Bleistift? Where's my pencil? Is done. So here, for example, where is my car? So I say, where is my auto? You see? And all of a sudden I can write, where is my bag? Tasche. Okay, all of a sudden I can write so many documents in such a quick and nice and easy way. So for deaf students, it is crucial to understand that this sign can mean so many different things. So in order to support them, I add the mouse pictures there. You say, just delete and say here, mein. Wow. You see, the whole thing, mein. And then I say neu speichern, and I say speicher it as mine. Go to the sign, and you see immediately this child sees it's mine and not mine. In this case, I go here, delete, and say please assist the deaf child, and say mine. And you see, typing is so quick, and I get done my thing so easy. So mine speichern. So you see. Here is mine. Can you see that?
Yes, I can.
It is M-I, and here is my knee. You see?
So you are blending the use of the sign puddle dictionaries along with your own editor, and you've got the blend.
Right, and with lip reading and all this kind of stuff that really supports them. So if they mix up this search with "I'm trouble," I'm sorry, then you go here and say, okay, for you guy, I would add this Suche, like this, you see? Here, zack, I say the, u, and now we look for this, it is here, and now I say, and you say, ich suche, and now the child is supported with lip reading and all the stuff and the sign, and without any problem. After a few Suche, I have to say Suche, and you say, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm just listening.
Speichern. So, and you see, it is changed from what it was before, just this without any. Here, you see, and now with lip reading, so it is able. It is easy to write for the child Suche, and the more experienced the deaf child is, the less is dependent on what is written here in the Mundbilder thing, you know. But if he does not know that much, it is complicated, you know, and therefore you can see, you can write on a specific level for a specific student, on a level that he gets, support and fun and competence. And this is a miracle of the program, that the Delex team, the software programmer, allowed us teacher to create a tool that is really helpful in an individual one-to-one teaching situation, as well for whole classes and groups, you know?
Yes, it's
Let me show you.
I'm sorry, Stefan, did you know that actually the presentation is technically, the time is up. We've been working for an hour from 8 to 9, but I was wondering if would you like to finish up? Is there anything more that's very urgent for you to show us that has new? Because I'd like to also tell you about a lovely comment that Erica Hoffman, one of our presenters, has said. Now, are you still online, Stefan? Are you here? Okay, Stefan, are you here? Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome back, and I want to thank you. Yes, to your health. And I want to tell everybody that you have a beautiful presentation webpage, presentation 44. And if you're watching in Google Hangouts, you can actually click on the link. But otherwise, you go to signwriting.org/symposium, and you'll be able to navigate to our webpage for Stefan. It's the presentation webpage 44. And when you scroll down, you'll see other videos that Stefan and I made together the other day on Skype, and we recorded it, and it was a lot of fun. We even shared coffee with each other. and plus, I shared my screen, and we used the Delex programs together. But I think this was a fabulous, fabulous demonstration, because you were able to give people really it's well taught, because you're the one running the computer and showing us. Your enthusiasm is so catching and inspiring. And you have done so much for deaf people and for sign writing and for the world. Thank you. And now I want to read one beautiful message from one of your biggest fans, Erica Hoffman. And she writes, "Again, I'm enjoying watching from home. Just chiming in to say that I've had the pleasure to see in person Stefan's students working with this program, and was very impressed with how effective it is. One nice thing is that Stefan not only asked them to use the program to compare German Sign Language with German, but also to compare German Sign Language with signed German. In this way, even if students use Sign German as a bridge for understanding German grammar, they can also clearly see how German Sign Language grammar differs from Sign German. Thus, the use of Sign German in this context need not undermine students' acquisition of Sign German." I think that's a beautiful way to explain it, Stefan, because in your case, I think everybody should know that when you're working with teaching deaf children, you have many, many groups that you must please. You need to teach your students how to read and write spoken German, and also teach them sign language, teach them how to communicate with both hearing and deaf, and they also need to learn to read and write, not only spoken German, but other spoken languages, plus obviously reading and writing sign language. So you have many different opportunities that you can use within the DELEC software to teach all of those modalities. Isn't that true?
That's true, yeah.
It's very important. And do you want to say one last thing before we close for today?
All I can say, I would encourage teachers all over the world to take part in this whole project and to make their first attempts to write their own articles or own documents. And if there are questions, don't hesitate to write to the DELEX team, and we will be happy to share our experience and to support them as much as we can do. Okay?
That is perfect. So you can go to Stefan's presentation 44 page and find the email address and go click. And by the way, take your hands down and let us see your shirt. And what does that mean? It means your name, Stefan.
Right. Yes, I said, did you get it? Did you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's his name sign. And thank you, Stefan.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Adam. And thank you, Steve. Okay?
Okay, and our next presentation, which will be at the half hour, is from Andre Lemire, and it's called Sign Writing Electronic Flashcards for Different Sign Languages, and we will be back at the half hour. Thank you very much, everybody. See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Oh. So it was good?
Oh, well, Stefan, we're still on. We're still live. And, of course, it was good. It was excellent. So everybody's hearing this right now as we are talking. So, of course, it was good. It was an excellent presentation. And so now I'm going to ask that you hang up, if you don't mind, darling, because we're going to have a break.
Okay,
Okay?
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Prima.
Of course, we're live, everybody, but we're waiting just for a few minutes to get set up for the next presentation. We have about 2 minutes, I guess, and Adam will tell us when to start because he's the director.
I think we're ready.
All right. Well, thank you so much, team. By the way, I'm sure you all know already that we have team members here today. Adam Frost is a professor of American Sign Language. Hi, Adam. And Adam is also a sign linguistics professor and teaches sign linguistics in San Diego area, UCSD, University of California, San Diego, and also he teaches at the San Diego Mesa College here. And Adam is also the editor of the ASL Wikipedia and is born deaf and uses hearing aids and is both hearing and deaf from our perspective as hearing people. It's amazing. But actually, Adam's native language is American Sign Language. Not a lot of people realize that. Adam is also an ASL interpreter and interpreted our symposium last year. We all want you to know that we do plan to add interpreting and captions to videos. That is our hope, that in time all of these videos will be archived with their captions, and also possibly interpreting will be added. So in this presentation, I also want to introduce Steve Slinsky, who is, of course, the developer of SignPuddle Online and so many softwares that we use. And as you know, Steve presented yesterday the SignWriting Stack and will be presenting tomorrow. Thank you, Steve, for also helping us today with the slides. And obviously, I'm Val Rosetton. And I want to thank Stefan Borman for the presentation the last hour. It was superb, Stefan. Bravo. Really was. And right now, I want you to know that Andre Lemire has a beautiful presentation. It's presentation 45. It's called SignWriting Electronic Flashcards for Different Sign Languages. And Andre, unfortunately, cannot be here today to present, and so I'm going to be presenting for him. I asked him what we should do, and we decided that that's what we would do. Now, I'm not a teacher of the Anki cards, so I can't do that. But what I can do is show you his presentation webpage and go through his slides with you and at least tell you a little bit about what I know. In fact, not only will we go through his slides, but I think I will also maybe even share my screen at the very end and show you one of his documents. So in the beginning, Steve is going to put up the slides on the screen and will help me go through the slides one by one. I will view the slide and tell you about it the best I can. I'll essentially read it out loud because I don't want to teach Anki since I am not an expert. But later on, of course, we can do more videos in the future. This is just for this presentation. I want to tell you how much I admire Andre Lemire. He is a remarkable person. First of all, I would never know any of you without the internet. Isn't that remarkable when you think about it? I also want to thank all the people who developed the internet, because I wouldn't know Steve, I wouldn't know Adam, and I certainly would not know Andre without all of the contacts that we have had through the internet. And I'm very impressed with Andre Lemire, who is, by the way, from French Canada, from Quebec. And Andre did present last year in the 2014 symposium on presentation 20, and it was a terrific presentation live as well as his web pages. But having said this, Andre is a very dedicated document producer. He's able to he produces PDFs, he produces Word documents, he's an excellent teacher of using software, and Andre loves sign writing and has just adopted it and has tried to write documents about it and to teach people about it and to spread the idea of written sign languages. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, Andre, and I hope I can do a good job today. So now, are we looking at the slides for Andre? Please put them up. It would be the the slide in English, not in French. Steve, do you have those up, or should I find them? There we go. We need to put that up on the screen. And while Steve is getting this ready, and how do I see them? Do I click on that screen, Adam?
Yes.
I click on Steve's screen. Okay, there we go. I have it now. Does everybody see a slide that says electronic flashcards for sign languages with SignWriting? Good. This is Andre's presentation. And as you can see, he's from Canada, Quebec, 2015. Thank you, Andre. Beautiful. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. And as you can see, Andre first begins by telling everybody about SignWriting and that it was first developed in 1974. And Andre shows some excellent diagrams in this first slide explaining about how American Sign Language ASL has some examples written here. Andre shows the hand symbols that, you know, like the hands moving with the palm facing of the D and the side view and the back of the hand, etc. Just showing some hands and what it looks like. Let's go to the next slide. And here in this slide, Andre is also showing a little bit about what SignWriting looks like, showing how there are movement symbols and that a dark arrowhead means the right hand moving, and a white arrowhead is for the left hand, and the empty arrowhead represents both hands. And so we have examples of signs, like the sign for family, showing the movement of the right and the left hand moving in a curve forward, and the sign for important, and etc. As you can see, yes, and Adam is doing some signs. I don't know whether people can see our pictures down at the bottom of the screen. Can they? If they can, then the first sign, Adam, why don't you show us the first sign for family? Okay, good. And the second sign is important. So you see the curved movement. The next sign is the sign for sign. And all of these are using arrowheads. And the next sign shows the sign for zoo that is finger spelled. And the arrowhead is a dark arrowhead for the right hand making the movement of Z. And then going forward there is a sign that is using both hands, and it has been written with the general arrowhead, which doesn't have a dark or a light arrow. And then we have the sign for stairs. Very nice, and that shows the right hand with the dark arrowhead going down the stairs. So if we go to the next slide, and here Andre is showing that we have movement symbols. There are fast, you know, these are dynamics actually, like fast symbols, and grasp is like a plus sign, but it just means holding on to something. And then there's the rub symbol, which is like a circular symbol where you're rubbing the body, and brush is a little circle with a dot in the center. And the touch symbol is a star or an asterisk. And strike is like 2 lines down and 2 lines across. Those are dynamic symbols that are used within the movement symbol group. And as you can see, Andre has placed some signs from American Sign Language underneath. And so Adam, if you did the first sign for fast, and rub is the next sign, and that's yes, right? And that's using the symbol for rub, that circular symbol, but the movement is actually moving in the line of the arrows because it's staying on the surface. The sign for deaf shows the sign for contact symbols. There we go. 2 contact symbols are there on that sign. And hit, Andre has shown a sign that uses the strike symbol because it is striking the hand, and that's, Adam just showed you that sign, I believe. And then we also have, yeah, that, there it is, exactly, it hit. And then the sign for slide is using a brush forward. And so the brush is a little symbol with a dot. And the last sign there is friend. And Adam is showing the sign for friend, which shows a plus symbol there, which means that you're holding on to something. So, so Andre is teaching the general symbols of SignWriting. And go to the next slide, Steve. And rather than teach SignWriting right now, I wondered if maybe I should go forward to Anki. What do you think? Should I continue with this? There. Oh, yes. Let's stay here. Andre wanted to show that Stefan Bormann has a speech writing system. And there are symbols for the speech writing, which is also called Mundbildschrift or Mundbilder. And I know Stefan can explain that much better than I, but this is something that Andre wanted to tell everybody about, and he gave us documents. That's outstanding. Let's go to the next slide. And here are some symbols for writing the positions of the mouth. And the facial circle shows the face. And then, as you can see, there are little mouth symbols. And as Andre has shown, each one of them is showing a different position. And I think you can go through this to get yourself later on when you see the documents. You can also learn this in our sign writing textbooks. And now we're on a slide that says Anki and Anki Droid. And that is the purpose of this presentation, is to teach you about doing electronic flashcards with a program called Anki and Anki Droid. Anki was created by Damien Elms. And you can see on this slide there is a link to the place where one looks at the Anki program on the net. And I hope that all of you will go there later. Right now we're just going to stay on the slides. The software is based on active revisions. Decks of flashcards on several topics are available. Each electronic flashcard presents a word or a question and the corresponding sign. You have to try remembering the sign. This effort helps memorization. As you can see over to the right from the paragraph, you can see that Andre has included a snapshot or a picture of how a slide looks. I'm going to keep reading. After you verify the answer, the words you forgot or for which you made a mistake will be displayed more often than those you got right. So can you see how there's the slide to the right there, and this it's like a little square with a pink box around it. That's a picture of how an Anki card looks. So the Anki program is actually a program that has electronic flashcards, and Andre has built a version of these electronic flashcards using sign writing to teach sign writing. Can you see how it says the word picture, photograph, photographic image? That's the meaning of the sign, and below it is the sign in ASL. Adam, can you sign that sign for us? That's right, that's the sign for picture. So that card is very useful, isn't it? And can you see how there are buttons underneath the sign? You can see that within the Anki program, you could actually click on edit or again or good or more or easy. So you have different ways to see the data within the electronic flashcards. Let's go to the next slide. So you learn a sign language with the Anki software. The flashcards can be studied on a Windows PC, an Android phone, a Macintosh, an iPhone, an iPad, or an iPod Touch. The signs are exported from the Sign Puddle Online dictionaries. Signs are imported in the Sign Editor SignWriter Studio as well and exported to Anki for flashcards creation. As you know, the SignWriter Studio program is developed by Jonathan Duncan, and the Sign Puddle Online program is developed by Steve Slavinsky, and both of these programs are working with the Anki software, thanks to Andre working it out. This was no small job. I know Andre worked for many months. So let's go forward to the next slide. Installing Anki Droid on an Android cell phone. There are several videos on YouTube explaining how to use Anki. Visit Google Play website, install the English application on your Android phone. And so then Andre has given you the link where to go to. There's also a French version with a link, a Spanish version with a link, a German, Deutsch version. And now we're going to the next slide. We have Anki for iPad and iPhone. And here is the link for that. And now we're going to Anki on a computer. The software for Windows, Mac, Android, and Linux in English are free, Several languages are available during the installation, and then Andre gives you the link. And installing an existing deck, you launch the Anki software and click Get Shared at the bottom of the window. A web page is displayed. In the search field, you type a category, the name of the sign language, for example, ASL, deaf and sign writing and sign and Sutton. There are different search words, in other words. And presto, you've got a long listing of all these different sets of cards that Andre has already put together for us. Isn't this brilliant work? Because imagine this, you have all those signs in those cards. Don't go so fast, Steve, I'm not done. I'm so sorry. Thank you, I appreciate it. Just take a look at all the cards that Andre has done. He has the Filipino Sign Language Lexicon. He has the language of Quebec, the sign language from Quebec, LSQ. The Idioma de Señas de Nicaragua, which is ISN. He has that in Anki flashcards. Imagine that. So if somebody was interested in learning Nicaraguan sign or sign language, you would click on this Anki cards deck, and it's amazing. I have enjoyed it so much learning this way. So now let's go to the next slide, Steve. And here you can see that once you have found the deck of cards that you want, the language that you want, you click on Info on this web page, and then you click Download. And see there's a download button, so now let's go to the next page. And here we are. You click on something, import the file. Of course, you have to get it in there. So we're now going through the process of getting the deck onto your computer. And as you can see, Andre has given us enormous amounts of links. Thank you, Andre, for all of these pieces of information. I know that I tried the instruction and it worked for me, and I was really impressed. So let's go to the next one. It's just so hard because unless you're on your own computer doing it, you know how that is with installation. But now here we are. We have SignPuddle Online, which, as I told you, is Steve's development. But in SignPuddle, we have dictionaries from many different sign languages, as Stefan just showed us in the previous presentation. And as it says here on this slide, SignPuddle Online contains centralized dictionaries for example, Quebec Sign Language, LSQ, or American Sign Language, ASL. And the users can add new signs. Well, several tools are available for search and new sign creation and text translation. So the online version is free. And there exists a version that can be installed on a private computer. And that is, I guess, the personal puddle, isn't it, Steve? And then we also have SignMaker also. So we can all talk about the new software and SignWriter Studio as well. And here we have an example of SignPuddle Online in the Translate feature. Andre has created a screen capture of Write ASL with Computer, and if you push the Translate button over there, then you can see it coming up on the screen. Let's go to the next slide. So in SignWriter Studio, developed by Jonathan Duncan, we have a sign language editor in SignWriting, and it allows importing signs from SignPuddle Online on local Windows computers. The users can add new signs. Several tools are available for search, new sign creation, and text translation. It can be used to create sign language dictionaries and Anki electronic flashcards for computers or cell phones. It supports all sign languages, and it is free. And he gives the link, signwriterstudio.com. And for more information, of course, contact Jonathan Duncan, who also presented, as you know, at the SignWriting Symposium 2014. It was presentation 13, and he gives the link there. Thank you, Jonathan. Beautiful program. Let's go to the next slide. And we are loading. Here we are.
Yeah, that's the end of it.
Oh, is that the end of the slides? I see. Well, then I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my screen, if that's all right with you all. I'm going to share my screen. I think it might be easier for me if I can figure it out myself. I think I can. So just give me one moment, I can see, are we still looking at Steve right now?
Right now we're looking at who's talking. So
Okay. I'm sorry. Well, can we go back to Steve's screen for 1 minute? Because Steve is showing the SignWriter Studio presentation. I believe it's
Okay.
Presentation 13. Is that right? Is that what we're looking at, Steve? Okay, I know I'm probably confusing everybody. Obviously, we need to do a presentation about Anki cards at some point that's a little more directed. But we're doing our best since Andre can't be here. So I am going to try to share my screen now. And I'm going to, there's a feature within Google Hangouts, and I'm going to now share my screen. And I believe I'm starting to do that. So am I sharing my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, so can you see that I now have a sign language document in front of me? It says Sign Language Student Guide with Anki Flashcards in SignWriting by Andre Lemire. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Good. And this is a PDF document, which I will show you how I got in one moment. And Andre prepared this for the presentation. And I'm in Firefox. And Firefox, when you open up a PDF, you can use, you can go to the next page by clicking on buttons up at the top. And so I'm now leafing through a beautiful document that Andre prepared. And this is similar to what our slides just were, in which he's now, showing in the first page a little bit of American Sign Language and what sign writing looks like. And here on this page, Andre is again showing us facial expressions and the symbols within our system. Thank you. And here are simple examples of some signs written in sign writing. This is just beautifully done. And all of you can download these documents. I'll show you how in just 1 minute. And here is a repeat of what we just went through on the slides. As you can see, these are examples of some of the slides in Anki and Anki Droid. Very nicely done. And this shows you how we can download them, just as we just went through on the slides. And it shows how you can download onto the cell phone. So this is just a repeat of what we just went through, but it's through a document on PDF, and that for me works well because I'm a very PDF-oriented person. And here it is talking about how to install the existing deck. You go to Anki web.net and you download the software, and for me it opened up immediately, and all of a sudden I could get a hold of the gorgeous decks that have been prepared for us by Andre, and I was able to open up the Anki software. So for you, I'm sure you'll have the same kind of experience. And here he's telling us about SignPuddle Online, which we just did through the slides. If I had realized, I would have used this document from the beginning. Here's SignWriter Studio. And here is the bibliography. Wow, so that's the same thing. Okay, I want to show you Andre's webpage. This is his presentation 45. As you can see, you go to the symposium. Here, for example, if I go to the symposium, can you see we have 55 authors? If you were to blend together all of the presentations from last year and this year, we have 55 authors. Isn't that amazing? And authors are not always presenters. Oftentimes in some presentations we have multiple authors for the presentation, but only maybe one person would present. And then there are 52 presentations total from 14 countries. And when you go to this basic symposium page, you can see that we have presentations for both years, 2014 and 2015. And today we are on day 2. And we are on sign writing electronic flashcards for different sign languages. So here I went to Andre's presentation page, and can you see he has a nice little video that is playing right on the front page. And as we go along, you can see this very nice abstract written in both French and English. Thank you, Andre, for the bilingual documents. And there are the slides in both French and in English. And here, the paper that I just showed you was, I believe, the tutorial. And now if I go to the creation of the flashcards, let me go to that one. I'm going to download the PDF. And here we have the next document. Creation Guide of Sign Languages, Electronic Flashcards with Anki and SignWriter Studio in 30 minutes. Wow, That's just what we need. We need just about 30 minutes. Let's see what we can do. So we're going to now go to the next page. And, of course, thank you, Andre. And Andre points out in his introduction that we have SignPuddle Online, connecting with SignWriter Studio, connecting with the Anki software. This is a wonderful combination of 3 pieces of software. Okay, and so now we go to the next page. And as you can see, we have the SignPuddle Online, and Andre is showing how to learn and get these dictionaries. We've already learned about that as well. And here we have SignWriter Studio with the Anki cards. We've already learned how to go ahead. And what he's trying to say here is the one thing about installing all of these programs into the Anki cards is that there were some issues in that some of the signs weren't edited on SignPuddle Online, which is just a part of life. We have free and open software where people can add signs as they wish, and not every sign that's added is necessarily edited. And so when you start downloading signs into the installation of these decks, the reason I'm going through this so fast is this is all having to do with installation. We've already talked about this. I would like to see if we could get to the actual cards themselves. Excuse me for going through this. This is a lot. And I don't want to teach Anki cards because I don't feel that I am qualified to do that. And I do apologize for this, that we are not completely ready here. Let me just keep going. I think what I'm going to do is show you some cards that I've already downloaded. How about that? Let me see if we have any pages here that show some cards. Here we go. Take a look here. This screen is the way it looks when you open up the Anki software and you have some decks that are already installed. Can you see here on the left of this box? See how there's ASL handshapes, ASL picture dictionary. Andre is showing you all the different decks of cards that he has installed within his browser, within his Anki software. And see how a sign has been chosen, and there's the sign, and it's in different languages, and a person can actually edit their own cards and make changes before they print or use them when they're teaching. So he was teaching that as well. Okay, now the student guide here. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is show you my deck. Here, look at this. Can you see this, everybody?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's good. Look at all the things I have in my dictionary. Wow. This is because I downloaded the Anki software in advance. And I have the software on my computer. Actually, you can see it here. If you will follow my mouse for a minute and go down to my very busy computer with such a big dock, my goodness. Look how I have the Anki software on my dock. And because I had installed it in advance, I was able to open up one of Andre's beautiful dictionaries. In fact, over here to the left, you can see I have quite a number of them. I also have a picture dictionary, and I have an LSQ dictionary, and Mundbildschrift, which is the reading of the lips that Stefan has developed. And so right now, it appears I'm in the current deck. And I have many cards in my deck. And if I were to click on this card, or this card, or boat, let me see. Here's boat. Well, some of these are hard signs. I'm trying to find one that's easy. Well, here we go. See all these signs I've got? Wow, do I have a lot of signs? Let's see if I go boss. Okay, so I click on the word for boss. It's coming from the ASL SignWriting Dictionary that's on SignPuddle. And I look at my mouse, follow my mouse. Can you see it tells me the word right here under front? And on the, so this is the front of the card versus the back of the card. And on the back of the card, we have the sign. And in this case, these are the shoulders. You want to do the sign for us, Adam? It's the shoulder with a C hand shape touching the top of the shoulder on the right side twice with a touch, double asterisk. And so if a person wanted to create a card, they would have it this way. So since Andre already loaded the cards for us, for example, this is another sign for both. And all I had to do was, go through every single sign. And I think I can use the arrow key. Yeah, I can use the arrow key on my keyboard and scroll through all the signs this way. And I know it isn't clear right now, but this does turn into actual cards. This is just simply looking through each, all the data that we have within one dictionary. So I think this is really beautiful, and I know how much hard work this was to get these all set up. Don't you think this is cool, Adam?
Yeah.
I think it's cool. And I think you've learned how to use it a little bit, haven't you?
I actually haven't gotten into it. I did talk with Andre about it before, but I haven't actually gotten into using it myself yet because I've been busy with all the running of the symposium.
Absolutely. And it's so funny when I look through these, I absolutely adore what this is. You can see how useful this is, can you? I can. Because I like it that we have the entire ASL Sign Puddle Dictionary in here. Don't you think that's cool, Steve? Your work. Yeah, exactly. And also, I don't know how much, I guess these are also signs that are in the SignWriter Studio program, too. So the fact that we can intertwine with our software and put them into flashcards is amazing. And the only thing I don't want to do is to teach anything incorrectly. So obviously, it's a matter of learning how to print out the cards. But you can see up here at the top of my screen here, I see there's a change deck. What would happen if I click on that? And look, it gives me a pull-down menu, and I already have another deck installed. I have something called ASL SignWriting Picture Dictionary. So let me just click on that for a minute. And then, do you think what I say, move cards? Okay, I don't know what that means. Do I have anything else in here? That didn't quite work. That's okay. We're all doing fine. Let me go over here.
Hi, Mel.
Yes?
I was playing around. I have a little Android tablet, and I have Anki that I got loaded up.
Okay, well then we need to get off of my share screen. May I just finish one last thing? And we'll go right over to you. I just wanted to show everybody that over in the left side of my screen here, I just clicked on it. It was just the easier way to go. I clicked on ASL SignWriting Picture Dictionary, and look, here is carte 1. That's really card in the French language. And look how it gave me a picture. See, if you look down here, see the picture of Africa? And then there's the sign for Africa and the picture for Africa, because this was a picture dictionary that we were accessing. And here is the sign for Alabama, and I know that because it says Alabama right on the picture. See? Isn't that cute? So this was because I had a picture dictionary already developed, and so Andre was able to bring it in. I want to thank you, Andre. I love it with pictures. And that means the flashcards could be really cool with pictures. Now, I am going to try to figure out how to go back, and I'm not going to share my screen anymore. I'm going to stop for a moment, and we will go back to Steve, because that's the only way I can feel not confused. So now I'm going to click on Steve, and Steve, you want to show me or show us? I assume we're seeing Steve. Yes.
Yeah, I just have an older Android tablet, and I just searched for Anki Droid. And came right up. I was able to install the app off the Google Play Store, and I said get a shared deck, and I searched for SignWriting and all the...
Wow. That is just so cool. Look at all those SignWriting things that Andre has blessed us with. That's terrific.
So, yeah, and then I was able just to download it. I'm still on the import step. I guess I'm going to have to go through the studio.
Well, this is exciting. I guess I didn't have to stop sharing screen, did I? I'm learning. You gotta forgive me, everybody. I'm really new to this, but I'm gonna click on share screen again for a minute and show you something else, okay? So now we're gonna start. I want to thank you, Steve. That's very helpful. So are you guys seeing my screen now?
Yes.
You are? Okay, so let me, there we go. And let me, I lost my, there. Okay, so here I am on our web browser, and as you may remember, I had shown you Andre's presentation web page 45. So I'm going to, you can see over here, you can go to his abstract, or you can go to the slides. I'm clicking on these little words on the left of the top area. But if you go to his papers, click papers, you can see the documents I already went through with you. But scroll down, and on top of all that, and here's a picture of Andre. Hi, Andre. And by the way, we have his biography in English and in French. But if you were to see right above that, in papers, 22 decks of cards in Anki software. Wow. And you can click on that and download all 22 in a folder. I'm going to do that right now. Or you can click on the Anki Friendly Intelligent Flashcards icon. Either way, you'll download the zip file. So in my case, it says open with archive utility. I'm just going to save the file. And I'm going to say OK. And as you can see, Firefox is downloading it for me. You can see the little download development. And then it's bringing it into my computer. And all I have to do is open up the download when it comes in. I have to unzip it, of course. And hopefully it's doing that. And it seems to be I know you don't need to be learning how to unzip something. Everybody has different software for that. But can you see how it's verifying all of the zipped files? And now I've got a beautiful folder of Anki all decks. And I open that up and take a look at all of these decks that you can download on his webpage because I put them there. And thank you because he gave it to us. Andre gave these to me and I posted them. And as you can see, that blue star, it represents Anki. That's their logo. So now I know that I have all of these decks on my computer. And because I have the Anki software already installed, all I have to do is double click on one of these and it should open the deck. Which deck would you guys like to see?
On my tablet, I have the SignWriting to ASL handshapes for 2004.
You mean right here? This one?
Yep, I have that installed on my Droid now. Oh,
great. And I'll open it up right now. Oh, dear, my Anki is busy doing something else, it says. Okay, I'm going to resume now. Okay. Okay, so why don't you go ahead, I'll go to why don't you go to Steve for a moment. Let me take a look at Steve too, because I
just opened up the deck.
Uh-huh.
A couple different options here. I can study custom options.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never used Anki before. I'll click study.
Okay, that's a good idea.
All right, and then it shows me that, and I should know what the handshape is.
Yeah, well, isn't that beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? And that becomes a flashcard. See, the point of all this, everybody, it's not that we don't know these symbols or whatever, but just imagine you're a teacher and you would like very much to be able to show those symbols on a flashcard. It takes a lot of energy to have to create a flashcard all by yourself. Can you imagine if you had to print a postcard and have to create it yourself? It's a lot of work. But this is already printed for you, but not only that, it's on your computer. So you're looking at Steve's screen, I assume, and that's a good idea because he's showing you what it looks like. There's the actual photograph of it. By the way, that's Adam's hand, I believe. Isn't that right, Adam? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then there is the hand symbol.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting because it just showed the C hand shape.
Uh-huh.
And then I clicked Show Answer, and it's showing me the answer. In this case, is just a picture of the hand shape, because I'll pick a more interesting one here in a second. But at the bottom,
yeah, go ahead.
At the bottom, it's giving me a couple different options. You can't really see them, but I can say, again, in less than a minute, I did good, so show me in the 10 minutes, or it was easy, show me in 4 days from now.
Oh, I think that's
go through each one. You can say, yep, I was fine with that, I know exactly what that was, or yeah, keep reinforcing. That same kind of thing that Stefan was talking about, too.
Yes, and so what this appears to me is, in fact, I know that you're hearing my voice without seeing. I want to show you my screen for a minute. I'm going to be right back, I promise, and bring my face back so that you can see me talking. But can you see, do you remember how I was showing you the picture dictionary? Well, can you see my screen, everybody? Because remember how here's the sign for, I'm using my mouse to come over to this pink area, and can you see the sign for alligator? And then if I scroll down a little, you can see the real picture. Isn't he cute? He's a dancing green alligator. Well, how did I find him? Well, not only am I in the full picture dictionary cards, but Andre has created some themes. And if I just want to find animals, look at my mouse. I'm going over to the side of the Anki bar, and I'm clicking on the theme animal. And that gave me a series of cards. Carte, I assume, means a deck of cards in French. And you can just simply click on all of the animals. And sure enough, there we have an ape. Isn't he darling? And if I go to 145, oh my gosh, I have a bug. But let's say I wanted to see geography. I could click on geography. And then what does this say? I take a look. Oh, it's Africa. And if I go to another card, oh my goodness, what is this? This is Great Britain. So I have numbers, people, colors. All of these are like themes that are placed to the left on your screen. I think that's a very powerful program. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see myself using this with my ASL students. I could see using it.
I'm very happy to hear that, because I think what I'm getting from this is that it's more than just printing out flashcards. You know, everybody, I've been working for a long time. I'm sure Stefan made that clear with that old video, remember? Well, that was from 1985, but I actually started in 1974, and I remember, you know, we didn't have computers back then, and especially between 74 and 84, and I had to actually write by hand on a great big, I mean, can you believe, right? I had cards, you know, cardboard, and I created them, and I printed blocks of cards. So then I'd be in a studio, and I'd go, see everybody, and guess what that is, and then we'd turn the card, and everybody would guess, right? Oh, did you guess right or not? Well, now I believe this is actually electronic, isn't it, Adam?
It's a what?
It's an electronic version of that.
Yeah. Yes, it would be something that you would use on your computer or on your phone. And it's an electronic version of the flashcards that you would print out in hand.
Right, right. So that exactly. So you wouldn't need to print them. Actually, it actually avoids the whole printing process unless you want to. And I can see that I'm seeing what Steve is seeing. Can you see he's showing importing cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. If his screen is shown, Steve is trying to point out that you have to import the cards, and it takes a. Go ahead.
This is the ASL dictionary right here. I'm just installing it in an older Android.
Yeah, and look how slow it is, and that's only because it's an older Android, and also the ASL dictionary, if it's from SignPuddle, has like 8,000 signs, right? So that's a really big one. But it's so nice of Andre to have prepared 22 different card decks, because that means it's already done for you. Now, you could do it yourself, and that's what he was trying to teach in that documentation, that technically, Adam, let's say you wanted to use it in your classroom, you wanted just to do a few signs just specifically to what you needed to teach. You don't have to have all these decks exactly as they are. You can actually create your own decks, I believe. I'm pretty positive of that. And it's my understanding, you know, I'm learning too. I'm enjoying this because for me it's an experience, and I'm actually going to if you don't mind, try to learn how to share my screen one more time. Boy, you guys must think Valerie is slow today. Start screen share. Am I screen sharing? I am? Okay, that's good. Well, here I am back at all the decks. And here I am one more time. And look, I clicked on Mundbildschrift 2014. And this is based on Stefan Vorman's work with, to translate Mundbildschrift is essentially the way that he writes the lips as they're moving while we speak. It's a remarkable development that's using sign writing symbols but expanding them so that they are used to really represent the way the mouth looks. And Stefan's presentations, as you know, from last year are presentation 2 and I believe presentation 12, and then this year we just had a presentation 44. Now, Andre has been working with Stefan to get the right symbols here, and as you can see, I have the cards open. Aren't they beautiful? You can actually go down and get every single, symbol with the German words that are equivalent. Pretty exciting. Look at that. What a bunch of documents. And I'm going to use my arrows on my keyboard, and I can go down like this. Look at that. Woo! And find what I need. And you could do that on your phone. Imagine that. I think the electronic flashcards are remarkable. What else do I have here? I have a signed LSQ, that is sign language from Quebec. And here we have the French and the sign. Very nice. And what else do I have here? Oh, yes, we do have Adam here with pictures. Very nice. Okay, and I guess there are also the signs there. There we go. It's because my window is a little, maybe I can make it, look at that. See, I didn't know that. I can make it bigger and see everything. I'm sorry, I've been sort of hidden, but it shows you how flexible this is. And look at that, I can click on a cards, and there, oh, this is really nice. There is a real card, the front view and the back view. Now you know what you're really dealing with. Mm-hmm. And you can flip them. Look at that. I guess flip means going through. Is that what this means? Is it doing the same one?
I think just laying down a new card or
something like that.
Probably flipping the card around. So.
Maybe so. And then look, I'm going more, and I can rename it. I can reposition it. Very, very nice. And browser appearance, I can even change how things look apparently. And then over here on the left, you can see that we have, I guess that's some script, isn't it? It's almost like the programming language that goes with this. Is that correct? Is that what I'm looking at?
I guess.
Yeah, you can see here, you could probably copy this and it would give you this. They have these little arrows. Obviously, everybody, we don't know what we're doing, but we are also enjoying showing you because we know this is valuable. In fact, it's so valuable that I felt that no matter what, I had to present it today because I want people to become inspired to use it. I think that's an important thing. And if I go forward and reverse, and plus gives me some more. And look at this, I can edit to customize, etc. Oh, here it is. Look at that. I can go like this and say, hello. And now, I'm not saying that's what it means. I'm just saying that I can change those words. Can you see that?
Yeah,
so I can.
It looks like that. This is actually making the flashcards.
This is creating the flashcards. Isn't this beautiful? And it's a nice thing to know, Adam, because if you're going to be teaching, you need to know how to create your own cards. Although Andre has already done a lot for us, and so there's probably no reason to make your own card unless you wanted to add something that isn't there yet, or possibly change the spelling, which was the one issue that we do have, which is when you load in public dictionaries. I am delighted that we have public dictionaries, and I feel they must remain public because people need to add signs as they wish and learn that way, and also add data that they need. But sometimes in public dictionaries, there are not necessarily everything that you want. So you've got to create your own dictionaries that are more private. And so that's why this is a valuable tool, isn't it, to edit what we want to say. And so I might say that this is a 3-hand with the two, you know, I'm just doing something just for the fun of doing it, if you know what I mean. And so then what do? I guess, do I save this somehow? I'm not sure. But having said it, you can see we can do it. That's what matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can reposition, and then I would have to enter a new card position. Very well done. I'm not going to do that today. So I'm going to close this window. So now we know we can do that. Okay, and if I were to go back to the picture dictionary, now we can really see everything. I wish I had done, oh, I just find this to be darling because I happen to like pictures. And, and there are all different kinds of programming things saved here. And if you've added some signs today, you actually have a record of it over to the left. You have a whole collection. And you have the current deck. And you have what you studied today. You can actually record what you studied and what you want to repeat and what you want to learn. Very interesting. So you have a lot of capabilities. Tell me, Adam, how you might use this in your classroom.
Well, I was just thinking that I could have the students use it to, like when they go home to practice certain signs.
Mm-hmm.
They could have this deck of cards and use it to practice rather than trying to create their own deck, because that's probably what a lot of students do.
Mm-hmm.
Is they will probably photograph the book, take the pictures, put it on a deck of cards, and on the other side write down what it means. And
Mm-hmm.
whereas with this, I could actually give them a deck of cards that's already been created with the vocabulary that I want them to learn, and with a appropriate English translation if I wanted to have that, rather than them making their own one up, which may not be correct.
Yes, I think that's an excellent point. And look how I can scroll through this. I just imported the sign language. Let me see. I think this is French-Belgian sign language dictionary that Andre has given us, already done. Can you imagine what a blessing this is? I mean, to put these cards together is no small thing. And he has the whole the French-Belgian sign-writing dictionary in here that is in Sign Puddle. And I don't know French, but you can see we can just go through and through and through. And if I go back up to 1, because we know 1, that's something that all of us can see. This must be the number 1 in French-Belgian Sign Language. If I go to cards, there it is. And now, of course, it doesn't have pictures in it, but we could always add pictures, I bet. And there is the card. And you are going to be using this, Adam, and I think if you do, I hope that you will, you can see, you can go ahead, that you will share with us later how you use it personally. And I'm sure that that will be of use to us, and we could always add it to the information in the future. Don't you agree?
Mm-hmm.
And do you think that your students will be able to use this?
I don't see why not.
I totally agree. So
one of the neat things,
yes,
is that it just the cards just have a front and a back, so you can go from any language to any language. You start out with an English sentence, and on the back of the card you'd have the English sentence with the sign writing underneath.
Very nice.
Or you could write something out with using gloss,
yes.
And then you could have the ASL underneath showing.
Well, I'm going to predict that this is one of the major developments for sign writing, because we now have this beautiful software that Steve and Jonathan Duncan and others, so many brilliant people in the DELEX team, and the software we have is so terrific. All of that is good, but I think there are teachers who really need flashcards. I actually think this is going to open it up for teachers. And you know how we talked yesterday about the Saudi Arabian and Jordanian presentation by Dr. Mohammed Abu Shera was so excellent, trying to explain that attitudes of teachers are positive amongst the group that use it. They all love it, and they have their different reasons, and the data was very important. But then there are those who have never heard of sign writing, or perhaps they've heard of it, but the teachers don't know what to do with it. They don't even know how to use it. And they're not necessarily software people. You know, not everybody feels comfortable. They may be outstanding teachers in person, but they just don't know how to access that software. If they had cards that were on their phones, can you imagine? Just envision this. If everybody in the classroom has a little tablet, that happens. There are classrooms now that have tablets. Everybody has an iPad or an Android tablet. And if they could all go to Anki cards, and with Andre's work or with some specialized cards just for that classroom, could access SignPuddle dictionaries that way, or SignWriter Studio that way, I bet you a dime it would spread more. I actually think part of the reason that Dr. Aboushera has been trying to grab, how can we get teachers to want to do this more? How can we spread it in the teaching profession? I think part of the reason there is an issue is the fact that not everybody uses software, and not everybody knows sign language, and the teachers don't necessarily know sign writing, and they need tools to make it easier for them. So I think the Anki cards might be an answer. What do you think?
It would be a help.
Absolutely. So the more we can do with it, we will. And we are actually just 5 minutes away and ending this presentation. So first I want to thank Andre Lemire for this beautiful presentation 45. And we look forward to adding more cards to the deck of cards to the pile that we already have been given. Thank you, Andre. And now I want to tell you about the next presentation. We have a brilliant deaf researcher named Marcos Kluver-Kogut. I hope I pronounced his name properly. Marcos is from Brazil, and he will be presenting in Brazilian Sign Language. Libras is the name of Brazilian Sign Language, Libras. And in Libras, Marcos will be telling us about his research, which will be, it has to do with video, transcribing it and analyzing how other people are writing sign writing. He's going to tell you all about it. Now, there's also going to be interpretation in the next session with Marcos. Because Marcos will be solely using sign language, we will have an interpreter named Diego, and we decided, because we felt we had to, we would have Diego speak in Portuguese. And that way, at least the presentation is perfect for Brazil. At least the Brazilians who are watching will benefit from both the voice and the sign language. And then later we are going to put in English and American Sign Language. I know last year we tried very hard to have multiple languages going at the same time, and we found it to be stressful. And I actually think even if we were a very wealthy organization, which we are not, but even if we were, I'm not even sure it would be a good idea to have multiple languages going at the same time. I think it's better that we put it in later. And so for those who are English speaking and don't know Portuguese or Libras, I want you to know that we're going to try to get a transcript pretty fast in English so that we can post it on Marcos's webpage. So we are coming up at the hour. It's a half an hour from now with Marcos, Diego, Adam, Steve, and myself. And I can see that Steve is showing right now a picture of Marcos Kluver-Kogut. That's a good thing. And that is presentation 46, and it's coming up in 1/2 hour. We will see you then. I'm going to close my window for a little break, and I'll see you in a 1/2 hour, everybody. And thank you, everybody, for this beautiful presentation.
Hi, Valerie.
Hello, Diego. How are you?
Fine, thanks. And you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. You have really good hearing. The headphones. I can tell. They're very good. Your voice sounds terrific.
Okay.
Yeah. Excuse me. Marcos, I guess, is here. I'm not sure, but he sort of has his photograph up.
Yeah.
He came early. We were presenting, and he came in. The poor guy came about a half hour early, and it's quite common. And then Adam wrote to him and said it'd be another half hour. And so now he's here again.
Okay.
Yeah. Listen, when we are done, I would be glad to ask you to do more work if you're interested in possibly then taking this presentation. You can view it on YouTube or Google Hangouts later when we're all finished.
Okay.
And we could use a transcript of the Portuguese. And if you were able to give me a written transcript of what you said, then we could create the captions and then from there create a translation. Perhaps you could even do the English translation. Would you like to do that work?
Okay.
If you're interested.
Yeah.
Good.
Just a minute, Valerie.
Yes, it starts at 11. We are actually online. Well, that, I see. I guess it's 11 o'clock here in California time, which means it's around 3 o'clock in the afternoon in Brazil. My name is Valerie Sutton, and we have Adam Frost and Steve Slavinsky with us, and two presenters who will be with us soon. Hello. And just to explain, one of the fascinating experiences for me presenting this symposium is the time zones. They're very hard to figure out around the world. Did you know that? But here we have, I believe, in a little box down at the bottom of your screen, you'll see Diego Barbosa. Welcome, Diego. Diego is here from Brazil. Yes, nice to have you. And Diego is an interpreter of many languages and will be interpreting for Marcos. And we see Marcos's photo there. Yeah, here he is, another time. Marcos has just joined our video call. That's excellent. Hi, Marcos. Hi. And Adam, you're running the presentation, isn't that correct? Yes. Oh, good. Well, my name is Valerie Sutton, and I'm here to present a new presenter named Marcos Kluber-Kogut. Marcos is from Brazil, is born deaf, is a researcher, and he will tell us, of course, all about his research. In English, I'm going to tell you the name of the presentation is The Interpretation of the Imagetic Descriptions While Reading a Text in Sign Writing. And this is presentation number 46 at the SignWriting Symposium 2015. So you can look at his information on his presentation website, presentation 46. And now, Marcos, please begin your presentation. We look forward to hearing about it.
Olá a todos, eu estou muito contente com a minha participação neste evento. Eu terminei o mestrado, é a minha primeira apresentação em um simpósio sobre a temática escrita de sinais, SignWriting, e eu agradeço a Valerie. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Steve, pelo convite. E eu também gostaria de falar um pouco, discutir um pouco sobre o meu tema de pesquisa.
You're very welcome. Thank you also.
Ok. Este é o meu sinal. This is my sign. Esse é o meu sinal. Eu sou aqui do Brasil. Estou junto com o intérprete Diego Barbosa, que ele está fazendo a interpretação para a língua portuguesa. O meu tema é a descrição imagética, né, que nós podemos utilizar o sinal DI, este é o sinal. Então, o desafio de uma leitura de textos em SignWriting com elementos em DI. Next, please.
Steve, are you showing the slides? There we go.
Ok. O objetivo principal dessa pesquisa é analisar as descrições imagéticas que são produzidas na leitura de um texto em SignWriting. Então, esse texto foi entregue aos alunos surdos de uma escola bilíngue e com professores universitários surdos, acompanhando toda essa experiência e como eles conseguiram ler qual foi os desafios dessa leitura e como eles interpretaram posteriormente a isso ao sinalizarem. Então agora nós temos os objetivos específicos, que são 4. O primeiro é verificar como foi a transcrição de um vídeo com elementos altamente icônicos para um texto em SignWriting. Então, como foi essa transcrição? O vídeo ser transcrito para um texto em SignWriting. Com surdos, obviamente, com experiência na escrita de sinais. O segundo objetivo específico é observar as diferenças entre as 4 transcrições. Então, são 4 alunos que fizeram um texto e essas 4 transcrições. Como se existiam elementos idênticos, elementos similares ou elementos muito diferentes. O terceiro ponto é identificar quais a transferência da descrição imagética aparecem na sinalização do texto em SignWriting, quando foi lido. Então, nós vamos falar um pouquinho sobre a descrição imagética posteriormente, com a pesquisa de Campelo. E esse elemento, como foi identificado nas leituras dos textos. E o quarto e último ponto é realizar uma análise das DIs, ou descrições imagéticas, produzidas na sinalização do texto lido, contrastando com a sinalização do narrador do vídeo. Então, quais as similaridades, quais as diferenças. Então, esses são os 4 objetivos específicos. Next slide, please. Então, aqui nesse slide, nós vemos a justificativa da minha pesquisa de mestrado. Então, qual a justificativa? Então, nós temos pesquisas na área da língua de sinais, com foco em leitura e escrita. Nós temos um número crescente dessas pesquisas, dessas produções. Então, o curso Letras Libras, ele propiciou essa disseminação das pesquisas em escrita de sinais, em SignWriting. Então nós tivemos o curso Letras Libras aqui na Universidade de Santa Catarina, na UFSC, e isso propiciou, após a formatura desses alunos, a necessidade de mais pesquisas na área científica, na área acadêmica, sobre essa temática. Então a minha pesquisa ela vem com esse objetivo, né? Qual a relação das descrições imagéticas e a leitura dos sujeitos em textos escritos em SignWriting. Então, nós temos a modalidade visual da língua propicia essa necessidade. Então, nós utilizamos muitos sinais icônicos, nós utilizamos muitos sinais que têm uma iconicidade muito forte. Então, como isso pode ser escrito em SignWriting? Existe essa possibilidade realmente ou não? Né? Então, e também a divulgação e sistematização da língua de sinais através das investigações sobre o tema, né? Colaborando então com a sistematização e a divulgação da língua de sinais. Next slide, please. Então, nós tivemos uma problemática. Então, qual a problemática que nos instigou a pesquisar? Nós temos as línguas orais, que já são investigadas, já são pesquisadas há muitos anos. Em uma frase, por exemplo, eu não gostei da aula. Eu não gostei da aula. Nessa frase, eu posso utilizar ela de diferentes formas, mas quando nós vamos escrever essa frase, ela não passa toda os gestos, por exemplo, que permeiam essa frase, não passa a seriedade com que o sujeito falou essa frase. Então, nós temos essas pesquisas desenvolvidas já há muitos anos. E nós pensamos, e na escrita de sinais? E no SignWriting? E na língua de sinais? Quais são as possibilidades? Então, o espaço utilizado na sinalização, as expressões, o movimento, a localização, a iconicidade da língua, né? Então, como trazer isso para a escrita de sinais? Qual a relação disso? Eu posso sinalizar de diferentes formas um texto, né? E esse texto ele vai trazer iconicidades. E isso tem que ser passado para a escrita de sinais, para o SignWriting. Então, nós temos as línguas orais. Se por um acaso eu pedir para que as pessoas transcrevam uma frase em português, nós podemos encontrar variações dessa frase. Nós podemos encontrar isso, né, nas transcrições. Por exemplo, como passar gestos ou expressões faciais, expressões corporais para a escrita. Da mesma forma, o SignWriting, né, nós temos gestos, nós temos expressões corporais, expressões faciais que complementam os sinais, né? Então, como passar isso, como trazer isso para o SignWriting? Next slide, please. Então, nós temos alguns questionamentos, né? A partir dessa problemática, quais são esses questionamentos, né? Então, para que esses questionamentos fossem respondidos no decorrer da pesquisa, no final da pesquisa. Então, o primeiro questionamento: surdos com experiência com SignWriting transcreveriam o mesmo vídeo original de uma forma semelhante? Então, essa transcrição, por exemplo, com 4 sujeitos de pesquisa, eles vão escrever de uma forma semelhante ou vão escrever de uma forma diferenciada? O segundo questionamento: como os participantes leitores surdos reproduzem as descrições imagéticas ao sinalizar a leitura de um texto em SignWriting? Então, como existe essa possibilidade? Como os surdos, os leitores, né, os participantes leitores, eles fazem na leitura de um texto? Então, nós temos ali se existe uma diferença, se existe uma similaridade entre essas leituras quanto ao leitor, né? Então, o terceiro ponto seria uma leitura silenciosa ou os participantes leitores optariam em sinalizar conforme estão lendo? Então, eles fariam uma leitura silenciosa e posteriormente eles sinalizariam, ou no momento da leitura eles sinalizariam, ou na hora eles sinalizam, fazem a leitura e sinalizam. Então, da mesma forma com que eles estão lendo. E o quarto questionamento é: com base nesses questionamentos anteriores, levanta-se a hipótese de que é possível encontrar elementos de descrições imagéticas no processo de sinalização da leitura em SignWriting. Então, isso nós podemos identificar. Essa é a hipótese, que nós conseguiríamos identificar as descrições imagéticas no processo de leitura e sinalização dos textos em SignWriting. Next slide. Então, essa pesquisa utilizou como referencial teórico, nós temos ali alguns autores, como nós podemos ver no slide, né, sobre a escrita, sobre escrita e leitura, principalmente sobre o SignWriting nós temos 3 autores, Valerie Sutton, of course, Stumpf, Marianne Stumpf, Barretos e Barretos. Nós temos Stumpf, né, como eu comentei, Marianne Stumpf aqui do Brasil, que fez a pesquisa em SignWriting também. Ela introduziu essa temática aqui no Brasil. E nós temos um livro publicado em 2012 de Barretos e Barretos, né, que é Madison e de sua esposa. É o primeiro livro, né, agora ele está numa segunda edição, foi publicado há pouco. Então esses são os autores sobre o SignWriting. São os autores sobre leitura e escrita. Nós temos esses autores sobre leitura e escrita foram de suma importância para entendermos o processo de aquisição de leitura e escrita, para explicarmos um pouco como os homens, como os seres humanos, eles começaram com esse processo de leitura e escrita, com escritas rupestres, com ainda mais na antiguidade ainda. Então, qual foi o processo? Então, esse processo de leitura ele começou de alguma forma. E essa forma foi através de desenhos, né? Então, a leitura e escrita, esses autores eles defendem que elas sempre têm uma relação direta, elas têm uma relação intrínseca. I'm sorry. Back to slide. Yeah, thank you. Ok. Nós também temos ali a área da língua de sinais, com os principais autores, que foi Ferreira Brito, e também Quadros e Carnop. Esses são os principais autores aqui no Brasil sobre as pesquisas em língua de sinais. E agora sobre a iconicidade, nós temos esses autores, como vocês podem ver. O Martelota, de 2012, que mostra qual o processo de iconicidade e arbitrariedade das línguas. Então, ele mostra esse desenvolvimento até os dias atuais, e há uma discussão, existe até então uma discussão muito polêmica, e não tem como nós simplesmente separarmos a arbitrariedade e iconicidade. Então, são dois conceitos que têm uma relação direta. Então, nós temos também Cratilo, Sócrates e alguns filósofos que estudaram sobre as línguas. Então, e que eles dizem que as línguas são, por exemplo, Cratilo diz que as línguas são como espelhos do mundo. Então, nós também temos outros autores que defendem e seguem a mesma linha de raciocínio de Saussure, que dizem que a língua é simplesmente um signo linguístico. Então nós temos algumas discussões. A língua de sinais é arbitrária, a língua de sinais é icônica. Então o conceito de iconicidade tem uma relação direta com as pesquisas em DI, que é o que nós vamos apresentar logo mais. Nós temos ali o autor também, que vocês podem ver, que é o Pierce, de 2010, que ele fala sobre... Ele vivenciou a mesma época ali de Saussure e fala sobre signo linguístico, fala sobre o signo, como identificar os três principais elementos: o símbolo, o índice e também o ícone. Então, esse autor, ele mostra como identificar esses elementos principais. Então, os símbolos, eles são convencionados. Ele é algo julgado como algo posto na balança mesmo, né? Então, isso por uma comunidade. Então, por exemplo, os símbolos da igreja, né? O índice nos mostra outros elementos, como nós sabemos que se as nuvens estão carregadas, significa que vai chover. E o ícone, ele fala que tem uma relação com a vida das pessoas. Por exemplo, lixo. Nós sabemos que o lixo são elementos que a gente joga fora, são coisas que a gente joga fora. Então, no computador nós temos um ícone que é uma lixeira. Então são todos os elementos, documentos, são pastas que nós vamos jogar fora. Então ele tem uma relação direta com o que nós vivenciamos. Nós temos Sara, também uma pesquisadora da área dos ícones, e mostra como é o processo analógico de identificação e de criação dos ícones. Então ela mostra que nós temos etapas a serem cumpridas. Por exemplo, árvore. Quando nós identificamos uma árvore, nós temos uma seleção na imagem dessa árvore. Então nós vamos selecionar, essa vai ser a primeira etapa. A segunda etapa seria a esquematização. E a próxima, a convenção. A codificação. Então essa é a terceira e última etapa. E agora, ali por quarto, o quarto autor, Cusack e Salandri, de 2007, falam sobre a iconicidade também. Então, o conceito icônico e o processo básico da descrição imagética. E agora, sobre descrição imagética, que nós vamos falar posteriormente. Next slide, please. Então, o objetivo é utilizar a captação dos sinais visuais, ampliar e exercitar as capacidades mentais visuais para se comunicar com os surdos. Então, Campelo, 2008, na página 152, ela fala sobre descrições imagéticas, né? Então, como eu estava colocando anteriormente, o objetivo é utilizar a captação dos sinais visuais, ampliar e exercitar as capacidades mentais e visuais para se comunicar com os surdos. Então, todo e qualquer recurso que for utilizado para ajudar na comunicação, a compreensão dos conceitos, deverão ser aplicados com naturalidade. Então, nós temos ali a proposta dos classificadores, nós temos gêneros que se condizem com os classificadores, que são das línguas orais, e nós também temos conceitos, por exemplo, a descrição imagética, o DI, ele tem relação direta com a comunidade surda e com a língua de sinais. Então, como os surdos se produzem a sua língua naturalmente. Nós temos diferentes tipos de árvore, por exemplo. Quando nós queremos falar sobre coqueiros, ou nós podemos detalhar as imagens que são produzidas na nossa mente. Isso os surdos eles conseguem fazer através da descrição imagética. Next slide, please. Então, nós temos ali a descrição imagética com diferentes categorias. Então, nós temos alguns estudos sobre a descrição imagética. Next slide, please. Isso. Então, aqui nós temos um esquema que mostra diferentes autores. Nós temos Cusack, que na França, que fez alguns estudos junto com Salandre, e isso na primeira parte do slide, né, que fala sobre o lexical, e também o uso, ele utiliza o EAI, a estrutura automática e cônica. Então, esse EAI são as imagens que nós produzimos na nossa mente e como nós produzimos ela, como nós conseguimos produzir ela na língua de sinais. Então ele encontrou 3 bases para o EAI. Primeiro é a transferência de tamanho e forma. O segundo é a transferência de situação. E o terceiro é a transferência de pessoa. Como é o processo dessa transferência? Então, alguns elementos imagéticos, como nós conseguimos transferir isso para as línguas de sinais, tendo uma relação direta com o real. Agora, na segunda parte do slide, nós vemos ali Campelo, nós temos ali a proposta de descrição imagética que foi substituída por classificador. O classificador foi substituído por descrição imagética, de acordo com Campelo. Então ela identifica os 3 e ela complementa com mais 2 tipos de transferência, que no estudo dela de 2008 ela traz esses 5 tipos. Ela deixa os 3 propostos por Cusack e complementa com mais 2 elementos. Por exemplo, o de transferência de tamanho e forma, ela complementa com o transferência de movimento. E também a transferência espacial, ela complementa com a transferência de localização e a transferência de incorporação, que nós não temos no primeiro elemento. E isso nós vamos identificar com base na proposta de Campelo a descrição imagética nos textos em SignWriting. Please, next slide. Então, como foi o nosso procedimento metodológico? Então, nós temos ali o material, nós temos a escolha dos participantes, é um trabalho qualitativo, né, que nós vamos identificar o que os sujeitos trazem no decorrer da pesquisa. Essa metodologia ela foi dividida em duas etapas. Né? Na primeira etapa, nós temos ali a produção do material e também visando o objetivo principal, que é os textos em SignWriting. Então eu busquei vídeos em língua brasileira de sinais, em libras, que fossem curtos e que fossem totalmente icônicos. Eu entrei em contato com um ator surdo, Bruno Ramos, que ele tem uma experiência em contação de história, em narrativas, em elementos do teatro, né? É um ator surdo. Eu entrei em contato com ele e eu pedi para que ele fizesse um vídeo em língua de sinais, e que nesse vídeo fosse uma contação de história, uma narrativa, e ele fez esse vídeo sobre o zoológico. E nesse meu pedido eu ainda disse que ele utilizaria, eu pedi que ele utilizasse menos léxicos, menos sinais e mais descritores imagéticos. Ele fez o vídeo em língua de sinais, ele me encaminhou esse vídeo, então eu já tinha o material. No segundo momento, foi a escolha dos participantes. Participantes voluntários, sujeito de pesquisa, onde nós identificamos 3. Nós tivemos 4 sujeitos, 3 mulheres e um homem, e onde eles já tivessem experiência mínima de 5 anos. Então, as 3 mulheres tinham essa experiência e o homem tinha mais de 10 anos de experiência. Então, eu dei para que eles fizessem a escrita. Então, e esses participantes, 2 deles optaram em fazer de forma manual e 2 optaram de fazer de forma computadorizada, né, através do software. Então, esses participantes, eles utilizaram 3 horas. O último sujeito de pesquisa demorou 5 horas para fazer. E as pessoas os sujeitos de pesquisa que utilizaram o software, elas tiveram mais dificuldade e demoraram um pouco mais, justamente porque o software ele precisa desse detalhamento maior. Ele precisa que selecione os elementos para compor um único sinal e depois disso eu recolhi esse material. Então lembram do objetivo específico? O segundo? Então, qual foi o processo de transcrição desse texto? Então, fazendo essa comparação entre esses textos, nós contemplaríamos o segundo objetivo específico. E depois disso, nós agruparíamos todos os participantes para que eles fizessem uma interação dialogada sobre os textos dos demais colegas. E nisso nós tivemos a gravação. Né? Nós tivemos a gravação dessa discussão entre eles. E isso propiciou a finalização de um texto padrão, né? E nós tivemos 3 horas ali de discussão. Nós tivemos o consenso de todos os participantes para que fosse redigido, para que fosse escrito um texto padrão. Não é um padrão nacional ou algo a ser seguido, não. É um padrão nosso, do grupo desses sujeitos de pesquisa, com base nas discussões que nós fizemos. E isso propiciou, isso nos deu a oportunidade de fazer essa escrita desse texto padrão. Depois desse texto padrão, feito pelo grupo, nós tivemos a leitura, o processo de leitura por alguns alunos e professores universitários. Então, next slide, please. Este é o exemplo de transcrição. Eu substituí o nome por T1, né, para que não fosse identificado o sujeito, justamente pelo Comitê de Ética Brasileiro. Então, isso nós tivemos esse cuidado. Substituímos os nomes dos sujeitos por T1, 2, 3 e 4. Né? Next slide. O T2, utilizado pelo software, né? Ele fez com base no software. Next slide, please. Foi escrito manualmente. Next slide. Então, a transcrição dos quatro textos e o padrão final. Aqui é uma tabela onde nós fizemos a comparação entre os 4. Então, sinais que foram utilizados por eles. Next slide.
Diego, your volume has gone down really low. Maybe you need to move your mic.
Okay. It's okay?
That's a little bit better.
Yeah, speak up. You were doing well before, but it went down. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yes, now it's good.
Thank you. Então aqui nós tivemos a escrita do texto padrão e nós identificamos ali, nós padronizamos os sinais, né? Então como foi pensado, qual a melhor forma de escrita. Next slide, please. Então nós tivemos ali momentos de transcrever os sinais, nós tivemos algumas variações. Nós tivemos algo que fosse idêntico de um e de outro. Então nós tínhamos que pensar em um sinal padrão e nós percebemos essa diferença entre os sujeitos. E nós fizemos de uma forma mais clara para que fosse a leitura mais clara possível ainda. Então nós padronizamos ali o último, como nós podemos ver, né, que é o padrão. Next slide, please. Tem um momento de alguns exemplos, né, de transcrições de alguns exemplos. Por exemplo, este sinal onde ele coloca um chapéu, nós tivemos quatro diferentes escritas, né, onde nós padronizamos uma última e o grupo concordou que foi a forma mais clara de escrita. Next slide, please. Também tivemos ali momentos durante o texto onde nós escrevemos da mesma forma, né? Tivemos sujeitos que escreveram da mesma forma. Então, eles concordaram que a escrita estava clara e deixaram ali o sinal daquela forma. Next slide, please. Isso é muito interessante, porque no vídeo, o sinalizador, no final do vídeo, ele faz isso, esse sinal. E o grupo percebeu que como não tinha como a gente escrever isso, né? Então, em SignWriting eles escreveram fim, the end, né? Então, eles escreveram isso. Então, nós tivemos uma das dos sujeitos de pesquisa, a pesquisa dela da campus, ela mostrou na pesquisa dela que em alguns textos os alunos escrevem fim, né? Então, e nós preferimos tirar isso, né? Tivemos alguns que colocaram, tivemos outros que não colocaram, né? Então, no final ali tiveram alguns que optaram por colocar essa conclusão, né? E de acordo com a cultura surda, isso não é utilizado. Então nós resolvemos tirar essa conclusão e deixarmos apenas o ponto final. Next slide. Esse é o texto padrão feito pelo grupo. Next slide. O grupo discutiu e fez o texto padrão utilizando o software, o Single Puddle, né, com toda a estrutura, tudo adequado. Então, next slide, please. Então, nós tivemos ali a metodologia, né? Foi como apresentei para vocês. Agora, a análise e discussão dos resultados. Nós fizemos uma tabela onde nós tivemos a imagem, a escrita padrão e o que o professor e o aluno fizeram. Então, e essa análise desses três elementos. Então nós tivemos essa identificação, se houve ou não a descrição imagética na leitura desses textos. E isso foi categorizado. Né? Next slide, please. Nós tivemos então o primeiro estudo e o segundo estudo. Nós temos uma escola bilíngue aqui no Brasil, chamada Fernando Coura, se eu não me engano. E aqui em Santa Catarina nós temos poucas escolas bilíngues, né? É o estado onde eu moro atualmente. E em algumas escolas nós temos o ensino da escrita de sinais. E eu entrei em contato com a diretora e ela mesma selecionou alguns alunos que tiveram mais contato com a escrita de sinais. E eu fiz a entrevista com 4 sujeitos surdos, né, de idade 15 a 18 anos. E esses 4 sujeitos, eles aprenderam SignWriting nessa mesma escola. Então eu sentei individualmente, né, para que não houvesse interferência de um sujeito e de outro. Eu sentei individualmente com esses sujeitos, mostrando esse exemplo, né? Então nós tínhamos ali o sinalizador, o Bruno Ramos, como eu comentei anteriormente, que ele utiliza dessa forma o sinal de barba, né? E em SignWriting nós tivemos ali a escrita e nós percebemos que 3 dos alunos acompanharam o SignWriting. Então, o Bruno fez dessa forma, mas a leitura dos alunos foi dessa forma, porque eles leram em SignWriting mesmo. Então, eles tiveram contato, eles têm um contato específico com o SignWriting, né? E eles não levaram em consideração o sinalizador. Então, na transcrição, na transferência de tamanho e forma, como nós tínhamos comentado anteriormente, nós tivemos então ali o tamanho e forma, né? Next slide, please. Então esse é um outro exemplo que o sinalizador ele imita um leão, né? Em SignWriting nós padronizamos daquela forma. Então nós escolhemos essas três expressões mais o sinal, por causa que o sinalizador ele faz dessa forma. E ele sinaliza de uma outra forma. Então, 3 dos alunos, eles não conseguiram fazer a leitura, eles tiveram um pouco de dificuldade. E o último, o Marcelo, ele conseguiu ler, mas nós percebemos que faltou a expressão. Ele só fez a boca, mas ele não fez o movimento completo que o sinal exigiu. Então, no primeiro estudo e no segundo estudo, na minha pesquisa de mestrado, o objetivo era apenas o primeiro grupo, né, o primeiro estudo. Mas alguns alunos, eles tiveram dificuldade em fazer essa leitura porque eles não conseguiram, né? E no final da leitura, eles fizeram eu fiz alguns questionamentos. Qual a maior dificuldade que vocês tiveram? Então eles falaram, sim, nós tivemos dificuldade porque nós não conseguimos fazer essa leitura. Então teve alguns sujeitos que ainda responderam é, que são lexos novos, né, não ensinado na escola. Então, quando eu pedi para que o sinalizador fizesse a sinalização de menos léxicos e mais descritores imagéticos, foi justamente para mostrar essa dificuldade na leitura. Então, não é por causa da escola, por causa do ensino da escola, mas é porque a iconicidade é um complicador na leitura desses sujeitos. Então, eles estão acostumados ao mesmo léxico diariamente e não com léxicos novos. Então, a comissão Então, o conhecimento desses sujeitos e as experiências que eles têm sobre o SignWriting auxiliou de certa forma, né? Nós tivemos ali três sujeitos que participaram da pesquisa que são mestres na área de SignWriting, com mais de 5 anos de experiência. Então, a minha pesquisa ela mostrou justamente que esses exemplos, o mesmo exemplo do Bruno sinalizando, por exemplo, aquela parte da barba, onde ele faz a barba, o primeiro sujeito são nomes fictícios, de certa forma, né? Então, quando eles fazem a barba, os dois primeiros eles acompanharam, mas o Caio ele fez de uma forma diferente, por causa do contexto. Que quando ele sinaliza dessa forma. Então a barba é um pouco menor. Então nós percebemos a dificuldade também na expressão junto com a sinalização. Então essa transferência ocorreu, sim, mas a transferência.
I would like to say that we have 5 minutes. And so if you could finish Marcos in the next 5 minutes, then I want to ask a few questions and then we're going to be off the air. It's a great presentation. It's beautiful. Keep going for 5 minutes and finish and then tell me when you're done, okay?
Okay.
Oh, yes. Next slide, I guess, huh?
Next slide, yeah. Considerações finais. Nós identificamos ali na transcrição que é um tema ainda que pode ter inúmeros desdobramentos, né? Então, o padrão utilizado na escrita aqui no Brasil, a transcrição do português, nós já temos anos de estudo, né? Então, a forma de transcrever, os sons, né? Porque é uma língua sonora, e o SignWriting, nós ainda estamos identificando estes padrões e não é algo ainda utilizado. Então nós tivemos três grupos de dados: a transcrição, a leitura dos alunos e a leitura dos professores. Então esses três dados na transcrição é uma possibilidade futura de continuarmos estudos relacionados a este tema. A segunda consideração, um outro aspecto, é que a visita da escola bilíngue evidencia o quanto os aspectos pedagógicos no ensino da escrita de sinais precisam ainda evoluir. Então, nós precisamos ainda evoluir muitas questões no ensino da escrita de sinais. São muitos elementos que permeiam a sinalização dos sujeitos e como nós podemos trazer isso para a escrita de sinais e ensinar aos nossos alunos, né, aos surdos, a como ler esses elementos no SignWriting. E também foi possível apresentar em um texto em SignWriting, pode conter descrições imagéticas e elas podem ser reproduzidas na sinalização no momento da leitura. Então, no momento da leitura, a gente teve sim a sinalização desses sujeitos. E o objetivo principal foi identificar essa sinalização, esses elementos descritores imagéticos. Next slide, please. Então nós esperamos que com essa pesquisa outros estudos sejam realizados, existam desdobramentos desse tema que é tão interessante e principal e primordial para a escrita de sinais, né? Então nós esperamos que exista essa contribuição dos estudos. Ok, finish.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Marcos. And I forgot to mention, perhaps Diego can interpret for me, I hope, that Marcos is concluding his master's degree, I believe, at the Federal University of Santa Catarina. Is that correct, Marcos? So is this paper, which is just excellent? Yeah, what's this?
This in Monday.
On Monday?
Yeah, I'm finished. Master degree.
Wow, very congratulations. Woo, that's terrific. So, and to explain to everybody, yeah, this is a master's degree at the Federal University of Santa Catarina in Brazil. And it's in the graduate program under linguistics. And I believe that your advisor or your guide was Professor Dr. Mariano Rossi Stumpf, is that right? Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh, this is wonderful. Well, thank you very much for sharing with us. And I understand that you also learned sign writing through a course of called Letters Libras at the university. So in Brazil, there are many people who know sign writing. I'm sure they know about your research. And if anybody here who has watched the production today would like to ask questions of Marcos, you can either go to his presentation webpage, which is presentation webpage 46 on the SignWriting site for the symposium, or you can write to him on email. His email address is on his webpage, or you can write to me and ask me questions, and I'll send them to Marcos. So I would like to thank everybody for watching the SignWriting Symposium today. We have been broadcasting for 4 hours. And I want to thank Diego Barbosa as the interpreter. And Marcos, your research is very important, and I'm looking forward to receiving a translation of your work today so that I can also enjoy the presentation better. And we will be in touch. I hope you'll keep in touch and tell us about any future research or more that is connected to what you're doing. And I want to thank Adam Frost for being the person directing the production today, and I want to thank Steve Slavinsky for showing the slides and for producing the SignPuddle software that so many people are referring to. Yes, and oh yes, the sign for Steve apparently is this. I understand Adam just did it. I did not know that sign. Very good. And Marcos, what is your name sign? What is your name sign, Marcos? Ah, like that. Very interesting. Okay. And Adams, what is your website, your sign name? Adam. Like that. Yeah. And Diego, what is yours? That's Diego. Okay, you're a hearing person. And my name is Valerie, which was given to me years ago by deaf people because I was writing on a blackboard, and you know how you have to write down like this, you know, and then my name starts with a V, so I was like this. So thank you very much for a beautiful day today, and tomorrow we are beginning again. 4 more hours of presentations on Thursday and Friday of this week. Tomorrow, July 23rd, on Thursday, the first presentation is from Portugal, from Rafaela Cota da Silva. I believe Rafaela will be presenting in English, but her actual materials are in both Portuguese and English. And we also will be having a presentation from Brazil. Session 2 tomorrow is from a software developer named Rony Fagundes de Brito. And he is presenting alone. However, he actually has 3 other co-workers, Macias Ramos Costa, Milton Shintaku, and Sandra Patricia Nascimento. And they have a wonderful new software they're developing, a sign writing interface for a journal system. So even though Rony will be presenting in English, he too will be giving everything in Portuguese as well on his website. And then tomorrow, Steve will also be presenting new software development. called SignMaker. We can actually use SignWriting now on the iPhone and on your Android phone and tablets. It's really cool. So I need to say goodbye now because the broadcast will turn off. And thank you again, Marcos and Diego, for a wonderful presentation. Bye-bye. Have a good day, everybody. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Thank you.